and the Riven also knows perfectly. But if like the Riven is a little more familiar in this matchup, you can definitely
I'm not gonna lie, I think she was smurfing.
probably. So wait, so before we begin, give me some like what are you like I know you're an Urgot player, I know you're in Masters. I appreciate the support of my streams by the way. What are you trying to like really focus on here? Just everything or like anything in specific? Because I will cover everything. I just want to see if like you have any specific goals in mind that you wanted to focus on or like are you just like a little bit confused why it's like harder for you to progress or something like that.
Honestly, everything. I mean, like, if you look at my OP.GG right now, my last like 10 games on Urgot, I'm like 5 CS a minute. I've been like just struggling so bad.
Okay.
And Urgot's definitely, I mean, he's not my best champ, and I'm still relatively new to him. But um, I don't know, man. I feel like I fuck up like everything, and I autopilot a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Gotcha.
I feel like I just do like a lot of shit wrong.
Okay. So let's get started then. Yeah, I'll try to help you with everything. No worries, bro. I got you. All right, so starting in lane here. All right, first thing that I'm already noticing is that I think this is fine, but you usually want to be taking control of the brushes level one.
Hmm.
This is like the first objective you should be playing for already is just you notice how this guy's like trying to walk into the bush like this?
Yeah.
That's really bad because then he can just pop out and CS for free and you can't auto him. You really want to be punishing him on the first three creeps. You can't fight Riven level one, I'm sure you know, but I mean you can fight Riven level one, I'm sure you know, but you can't take the extended trade. So if you have minions, it's fine to fight here. So you should be looking to stand in this brush here, and if she goes for the Q on this CS, you can look to auto her or E her here easily.
Okay.
But because we're posturing like this, we kind of let her take the brush here, and she's like able to just pop into like she could just take this brush here and pop in and out for free. Like you don't want to be hovering this side, you want to be hovering this side and force her over here. Because
Okay.
this way she has to eat CS for free, right? So that's like number one. Almost every Urgot lane, that's like the kind of the first objective you want to be playing for is taking control of that brush. And just making her to feel a little unsafe here. Because early game, like right here, if you notice, like you should be looking to play more aggressive here for sure. Like you can look for an E here every time. If she queues for the CS, you want to be looking to grab her or at the very least auto her. So you should be standing like that. You should be standing. And then if she goes up here to CS, you can just auto her. And if she doesn't CS, you can just deny her the creeps, right?
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Let's see how this plays out here. Our jungle is pathing to bot side, it appears. We don't really know where their jungle is starting. Okay, this is fine. A little bit of a risky E to go for, but that's also fine here to go. It's just kind of like the thing about Riven is that, yeah, this is the issue with Riven is that you can't really like use your E like this because you have to use like if you're full HP to Riven from full HP Urgot, this is how the matchup plays out. If you use your range, you can always kill her, but you need to be very careful with how you use your E. If she's full enough, she can just all in you with her Q and ignite and conquer level one.
Hmm.
So you need to be having her at like 70% HP at the very minimum, like here, if you want to look for this flip, which you could have gotten if you hit her with a couple autos on the first couple waves, right?
Yep.
Like when she was trying to use her Q to CS, she could have been way lower already. This is the issue is like if you go from full here, you're also not only are you fighting her in her minion wave, she can just kite into the bush, drop the minion aggro, and then auto conquer stack conquer, and then she can like kite you in the same direction as your legs, so you can't really walk around and proc her legs. And she has conquer and ignite level one, so she will win the extended trade here. So level one, if she's not like totally walking up, you never want to be eating past your wave like this. This is not for all matches, specifically this matchup though, because Riven with Ignite is really strong level one if you waste your flip like this. You need to be using your range first, auto, and then you can look for an E. If you just open up with E, it never works out. Especially because they always do this like Q thing where they like delay their Q, so like it's like always back up in like a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
seconds here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So especially because here, like this could be fine as well, but you get too greedy and you're going around her to proc your legs too much, which is like you're walking into her wave, right? So again, this is just kind of about knowing. This is what I'm talking about, like knowing the matchup and knowing the limits in this matchup. I'm sure this guy knows the limits better than you probably if you said he was smurfing. Yeah. So this is like the one of the actual really like it's stupid because it doesn't feel like Riven should be able to beat Urgot level one, but Riven actually can beat level one Urgot because of this. Like, but it's just all because if you waste your E like this without any real way to like actually committed to lethal ranges.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and she
go
uses
ahead.
Q3 there, but it's back up instantly, so
Yeah, yeah.
it just doesn't
It's
really
it's
matter.
not real because they if you're it's also because you're kiting into her wave here. She can just auto you like this doesn't matter because you can't really kill her here, and she can just buy time for a conquer and ignite and Q to come back up here, right? So I'm gonna assume she just probably just kills you here or takes your flash. Okay, never mind. You're the goat.
No, no,
But it's
she fucked up just like I because she kept fighting in my wave now.
yeah. That being said, I feel like this guy, if he delayed his conquer stacks by one auto, I'm pretty sure he kills you here. I feel like he should kill you here, from my experience in this matchup.
I thought I was dead personally, so
Yeah, I think he Q1s without the conk. And also he kites into your legs. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't die here, or you die here if you fuck up. Also, like I mean, I guess it's close, but I'm pretty sure this guy should kill you. Either way, it's just generally too risky of a trait to go for. Like the variance is too high, regardless if you come out on top or not. Because if this guy like flashed or something on you, or like flashed, like this is where he fucks up. Like that leg is what would cause him to fuck up. If he doesn't eat that leg, I'm pretty sure he kills you here. Like if he just kites you on this angle, I paused it, my bad. If we go back after you flip him here. On this leg here, right? If he just kites you from this direction, I don't think you can kill him.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying. If he just stays on that
Yeah,
angle the
right?
entire
Yeah,
time.
that's what I'm saying. Like if the Riven plays this matchup properly and just kites you from one angle, you can't rotate around, right? You can't get around her to proc these legs ever. If she just but she comes in at this angle instead, giving her like she came at this angle and then she moved down here to this angle, giving her you the extra leg to kill her here. But if she comes at you from this angle, always you have to walk back this way, right? You can't really like rotate, and then she can run you down with Conqueror, I'm pretty sure, and kill you here every time.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
But she
that
walks into this leg, which is like a huge deal. And then she also walks into this leg too,
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
cutting from this angle, right? So she gets two free legs that she shouldn't get. Like you could maybe outplay this if you go auto flash or something for like to redirect the leg there at the end. But like yeah, I'm like positive she kills you here if she doesn't run into every single leg. But it ends up working, but yeah, it's just generally like not the correct play either because like I said, you never want to be using your E into her wave like that. The Riven level 1 with Ignite is very fucking scary.
No, I
You
agree.
can't disrespect her like that. You have to like the advantages for Urgot in this lane comes from you using your range, and not getting your E baited out. Because a good Riven, they'll just try to bait out your E with the Q3, and then they'll E away before your E can connect, and they'll all in you after that. So it really comes down to making sure that you're just using the fact that you are range driven completely, and she has to use her first two Qs to gap close, and then you can buffer your E into either her Q3 or her W. So she pretty much has to play passively, and she can't really get a window on you unless you fuck up your spacing or unless you waste your E. Those are the only two windows that Riven can really look to punish you on. And it's not up.
Oh, you cut
Um,
out. What'd you say?
oh fuck, sorry.
You there?
Hello?
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my cat ran over my mic, bro. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
All right. So I think I was saying, I don't know where I left off, but I was saying, uh, when Riven can look to all on you is if you mess up your spacing and give her melee range with autos, so that she doesn't have to use her Qs to gap close, or if she can bait out your E.
Okay.
So especially if you have flash up, if you don't have E, they can just flash on you and run you down with like Nimbus Cloak and Ignite, even if you have your flash up. So you have to be very careful in this matchup, not to give her any sort of edge, and to make sure that you don't. Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is just spacing this matchup. It's kind of a stalemate matchup because if the Riven is good and the Urgot is good, you can't really push her too much until level 9 because you can't eat her. And she can kind of just like farm with D shield and E and just like kind of exist. Like she can't kill you and she'll go down CS, of course, but like it's hard for you to actually kill her and like actively take fights to her if the Riven like knows the matchup properly and doesn't just like walk into your E and you use you're using your spacing because yeah, like I said, if they have to use their first two Qs to gap close, they can never really win. Or if they have to use their E to gap close, they can never really win. It's like all about the. I mean, you should go longsword here, by the way. How much gold do you base with? It's all about the spacing and making sure that you can properly maintain your distance from Riven without having to use your E.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I would go longsword refill here every time. I don't like Ruby Crystal in lane ever, especially if you already got a kill. You can make an argument for certain matchups to go Ruby Crystal here if it's like a defensive matchup where you have no kill pressure, but it is a very volatile lane, Ignite versus Ignite. Plus, you already killed her, so here you should go either Cull. I think you had gold for Cull.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Did I just restart?
Yeah.
Yeah, either go for gold for Cull pot or um longsword refill. So I would probably go longsword refill here just because refill's OP.
Okay.
But it's never Ruby Crystal here ever.
Okay.
Because you
Okay.
killed her once, it's a snowball lane. Ruby Crystal is defensive. You want to take the fight to her, you want to kill her. Plus you still have flash up, so you actually have kill potential.
Okay. Yeah, I overthought that then.
Alright, let's see. I wish I didn't have to skip forward 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking garbage.
Yeah. Can I speed this up?
Can you not like arrow keys don't do anything? I guess.
Nah, it's fine. Okay. Arrow key? Nah, nothing. Alright, it's chill. I can skip forward 30 back to
Oh yeah. Okay.
back 10 seconds. Alright,
Yeah.
here. This is standard. I mean, the game is really good for you. This is
Oh,
a really solid game here. Crash the wave, went home, bought out item. So far, it's looking really solid.
I'm about to ruin
So let's
it.
see how
Don't
this
worry.
plays out. Okay, let's see how it happens here. I mean, so let's just see how it plays out, and I'll ask you some questions. Okay, chilling. We see their Nunu's probably gonna path up after this gank. Okay, so all right, immediately right here, you do have to respect this balance out here for sure, but you should never look. You should never like let her get this proxy for free. You should at the very least look to be eating her here. And this is kind of unfortunate because you use your W here, but one thing against Riven, and this is for a lot of champions like Garen as well, especially when they get behind, you really don't want to let them get into the proxy angle because you're already ahead. You want to be able to fight them 1v1, right? And it's just kind of knowing about which champions want to go for this angle. Riven is certainly one of them because she has a really good proxy. She has
Mhm.
insta wave clear and can hop over walls. So you always have to be watching out for it if you give them tempo if they want to try to go for the proxy here. So here, if she wants to go for this, you need to be standing like right here, trying to push her off. So that way, if she wants to go for the proxy, you can like push her off, right?
Okay.
Like standing here, if you stand, where the fuck did my video go? If you stand here, she can probably still go for this proxy because at the very least you couldn't just E her and chunk her, but she can still go next. But it would just deter because she'd be super low after that. If you stand here, it does nothing. You can see us from here. If you stand here, you can also see us from here. So there's no difference for the creeps here. It's just this gives you a little bit more defensive stance. And this is kind of just about recognizing the fact that Riven does want to go for the proxy here, especially if she's like running past your tower. You have to like read her body language here. So if we go back, you can kind of tell that like as she's crashing this wave, as soon as she kills this last range creep here, she's still walking at your tower, right? This is really weird because there's no reason for her to do this unless she's looking for the proxy. So as soon as you see her body language telling you she wants to move for the proxy here, especially because she uses Q1 there, you need to be walking here to block her off because you really don't want to be letting her proxy and just trade farm for free. Because you're like again, this is a good Urgot matchup and you are already ahead of her. So never want to let her get into proxy position here. So at the very least, you want to be able to look to E her off here. You usually have to like predict her E. So if you're like here and she's like here, you have to like E here to predict her E or Q. And then you can look for a beefy trade and take half her HP here. She can probably still look for the proxy, but now it'll be significantly harder for her to stay in proxy position because she'll be low and then she'll take damage trying to kill this creep wave. And then if anybody in your team wants to look top, it will take significantly less time to kill her. So she just has to be really scared of going to proxy position now because of this chunk, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
let's see how
just
this plays out. Go ahead.
it's like little shit, dude. It just all adds up.
Yeah, no, it's like this, like top lane is like extremely snowball. Like yeah, out of all the clients I've coached, like every time people like will make one mistake, they'll be like winning in lane really hard. They'll make one mistake and that mistake will just snowball out of control. They'll lose soul and Baron off of it, and they won't even realize their mistake. I'm like, yeah, you could have done this.
Yeah.
So it's the little things for sure.
Everything
Yep.
like since level 1, just not even taking the bush control. It's just yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
it's really important. Very, very important. Bush control. And so here, I don't know if this is a cannon wave or not. It's not a cannon wave, but this is okay. You should. So the thing is here, you see the Riven and your doctor's on the top side. You need to get her. Like your goal needs to be to get her out of this proxy position ASAP here. So what should happen after this guy gets past you? Like say you don't stop him here, he gets past you. That's fine. You see your jungle is coming top side here, right?
Okay.
So your goal needs to be I need to clear this wave as fast as possible so I can try to fight her because my jungle's coming to the top side. If your jungle wasn't coming into top side here, it'd be a little bit of a different story because you can't really push her out 1v1 anymore because she is full HP and she is Riven, so she one-shots the wave instantly and they can hop over walls, so you can't really catch her down or run her down by yourself. But because your Nocturne's coming, you're going to be, I need to clear this wave ASAP. So you should be like, I mean, CSing is important, but you should be looking to like get this wave cleared as fast as possible here. And then because she's so close by, it's honestly fine to sack like a couple creeps here just to kill her.
Okay.
That being said, it's now you're in a risky spot here because she's full HP, right? So killing her is going to take significantly longer time, and it's not even a guarantee you'll kill her now because she could just flash over a wall and escape, and then you'll be down XP if you move to fight her here, right? With your jungler, right? If he goes here, you go here. She's probably going to die. She's definitely going to lose her flash. But is it worth for you if you lose this wave here? Because it's not a cannon wave, right? If this was a cannon wave, it would be fine because then you would have significantly more time while the cannon died, especially if she was low. But because we didn't try to chunk her while she moved past us to proxy here earlier, it's going to be a little bit of a risky fight now. Because like even if you kill her, you lose XP here. But at the very least, what you should be doing is you should be looking to not hold this wave here. You want to be letting this wave push into you here. So that way, as soon as this wave dies, you need to be looking at her, seeing her HP, seeing her conditions, seeing what spell she's used here, right? Seeing what she's done here. And if you notice that she's like low or she just used her hops abilities, you can look to fight her as your Nocturne crosses in. And this way, like you're standing like in between, halfway in between Riven and halfway in between your wave here, right? If you move all the way up here, this is now awkward because now you're even farther away from Riven, which doesn't give you any purposes. Because one, it takes you longer to kill this wave by yourself in the tower. Like you could stand under tower here and let the tower do the work for you, and then the wave disappears much faster, and then you have more time to go kill this guy with your jungler here. But moving up here is just really bad because not only are you farther away from Riven, you can't kill this wave by yourself, right? Now you're just freezing, and you don't have any abilities, and you use your abilities here. You need to be at the very least looking to help your jungler or to see what's happening here. Because we did see Nunu cross into topside earlier. I don't know for sure if he's still there or not, but at the very least, you need to be looking to see if you can help your jungler, regardless if you move or not. Just like looking at this guy, looking at what Riven is doing, it's very, very important here. Regardless of what you actually do, your actions are, you need to be looking at the scenario occurring here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I moved down because I saw the Nunu go up and
yeah,
like,
that's fine. Yeah, I just realized the Nunu was there, so that's valid. Like you can't 2v2 them with the Nunu's there. Just get your CS, that's fine. What I would have done here though is that because you see your Nocturne moving to fuck with her, I would have just pulled this wave, right? Because if you think about it, all you need to do is make enough time for this wave to come, and then you can have a freeze here. If you can hold this wave long enough for like this is like 20 seconds, you can get a freeze going on here, which is not that hard to do, right?
Yep.
And it's hard for her because she can't really go for this wave because now your jungle's on top side, and if she moves for this wave, she gets like really overextended, and then it's easy for your jungle. Say like, I mean, Nunu is here, but like either Nunu's here and then your Riven wants to collapse on her here with her Nunu, or she moves for this wave here and your Nocturne and you can kind of like deter her. Like she's got to be scared, right? So it's just like generally risky for her to ever go for that next wave here. She's mainly just trying to proxy this wave, the non-cannon wave, which you can one-shot instantly, and then move to fuck with your jungle, recall, whatever. So you want to call her bluff here and just pull this wave instead of one-shotting it because you don't even take damage pulling this wave. What you can do is you can walk all the way. You can just keep dragging the wave all the way up here, right? Just buy enough time. The wave gets to like around here. Wave gets to around. All you do is buy your time for this wave to go here, right? This is all you need to do. That amount of time. And then what you can do is once your wave arrives here, you can just pop into a bush, de-aggro the wave, and then the wave will continue its course back to the lane here. But by that time, it won't have enough time to crash, and the wave will meet around here. And then you have freeze going for free.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not actually that much time. You just have to pull it for like maybe like 10 seconds, and then you have a freeze here. 10, 15 seconds, and you have a freeze. And you don't take any damage at all because they're not aggroing you. You're just like pulling the wave, and then you can E as well for a shield, and pop into the bush to de-aggro here and everything.
Yeah, I've never even done that, so I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so this is like pretty important when calling bluffs on freeze. You got to ask yourself, can they still actually, or sorry, on proxies, can they still continue to proxy? And if so, how can I punish them? Like, because your goal right now needs to be, I need to get this Riven out of proxy position. It is just complete disaster here. I got a kill on her, but suddenly I'm the one stuck farming under my tower. She has complete control over my jungle. Like, she can invade, fuck with my jungle, make my jungle's life miserable. But this is a matchup where I'm supposed to be stronger than her, and I already have a kill on her. So you need to be thinking, how can I get control back over this lane? And it kind of comes down to just you letting her get into proxy position for free. If she had taken a chunk here earlier, she can't do this because then they're fighting half HP to you guys being full HP, right? It's impossible for them to ever make this play here on the jungle. I don't know what happens. Maybe your jungle's fine here. Maybe he's not fine. We can watch and see how this plays out. But it literally all just comes down to you not chunking her while she walks into proxy position. And again, that comes with experience in this matchup, just knowing whether Riven wants to go for the proxy position or not. Because a lot of times lower elo Rivens won't go for the proxy, they'll just play for the lane 1v1. But this is honestly why I think Riven is so OP and why like a big deal of like why Viper can hit rank 1 of his champion that no one else can really even get challenger with. Because this champion is so versatile. Like it can play lane, and then in bad matchups where it can't play lane, it can just bypass lane by proxying and then roaming and then fighting your jungler who's usually weaker than you, right?
Yeah.
It has so many options to play for. So yeah, this is fine. We push her out here, but again, we could have had a freeze going this entire time, but that's okay. So honestly, I wouldn't have moved. Like, you got to recognize that this play is over. You can move in here. You clear the wave. You move in here to help your jungler. That's fine. They're backing off, right? There's no need to chase them here anymore. You can't do anything if you follow them right here. Like, the jungle's doing Gromp. They're just sitting here. Even if you guys are 2v2ing, it's too risky of a fight to take right now. You shouldn't take this. So immediately right here, you have to realize that the play is over. If your jungler can't clear this Gromp with Smite up, it's his fault, right? He can just, you've given him security here. He just needs to clear this, get the fuck out, and you're fine. But because we kind of take this defensive stance, we get too sucked into helping our jungle here, right? This guy is like, he should be fine, right? Even if he doesn't get the Gromp in time, he can just exit this way. You really need to make sure you're playing for your lane right now. Because again, you're not playing for yourself enough, I think, right now. You're giving too much. You're just sacking so much XP here for free. And you're letting Riven be ahead of you in tempo this entire time after killing her. Because she gets the proxy. Like, now she's first to lane. Now you have to be worried about the Nunu gank. She's going to be first to lane, so she can get the push now. You're taking too defensive of a stance here.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to review this, because this entire game, I literally felt like I was just on the fucking back foot.
Yeah, she's just dragging you around. Like, you have to respond to her, which is what good players will do if you overly respect them here. Like, you're getting too sucked in. You need to realize that, like, here, like, what the fuck did I just keep clicking the wrong buttons. You just need to realize that here, what is it? No, it's back. It's sorry about this.
No, you're fine.
You need to realize that here, the play is over, right? There's like nothing to contest for. She is backing off here, right? She's going here. Her Nuna's here. You never walk this way, because if you walk this way, she walks this way, and then suddenly she's ahead in tempo again. And then you also have to respect the Nunu snowball coming this way. You really need to make sure you're abusing the lead, but she's also chunked, so it's harder for her to get control over the lane. So you just recognize the fact that she's out of the play. What you can do is you can drop a ward here to see if they're coming, and you immediately just want to play for your own lane. You just go straight back top here. And that way, if she tries to enter lane, you can kind of push her out in this zone here, chunk her out, as long as you're being careful for the Nunu snowball. And suddenly you're ahead of tempo, you're controlling the lane again. But you're just playing too defensively. You're just letting her, like, basically you're playing too defensively here. You're playing too scared. Right, you're like, oh shit, like my jungle's gonna get invaded. Oh, I need to help him, right? Oh, like you can't be thinking this way. You gotta think like, okay, I am the alpha male here, right? I killed this bitch. I need to take control of her lane. She needs to respond to me and not the other way around. It's already kind of scuffs because we let her proxy the way we get tempo in my jungle, but now I need to take back control because she's exiting proxy position. She's farther away from top lane here. She's chunked, and like she's just in a straight up worse spot here. But because of how we path here, we path too defensively. We path to help our jungle. I would just drop a ward here. Help our jungle, because we have a ward here already for vision. We don't need a ward for ourselves that much anymore. Help our jungle see if we re-invade here when we go back top lane. Just take the river here, go back to top lane, eat our XP, don't miss our XP, play for ourselves here, not our jungle. Because if he dies with this warded, that's not our fault, you know?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand.
So, but we play too defensively here to defend him, and it's like, it doesn't really do anything for us, because now we're getting pushed out here. You can probably 2v2 them here, by the way, if you just flash, but it's just hard because they have mid move as well. Like, it's just not a good scenario, and now you're just getting pushed out of top lane. You're bleeding XP in top lane this entire time as well. And now she gets to go back top lane first. Your jungle's mad at you, so he's going to go back to full clearing towards bot. Nunu's still top side, so he can still snowball on you. You've got to respect it. And now it's just overall scuff. Like, you're just wasting so much time when you could have just been sitting in lane. You could have just dropped the ward. If your jungler dies, that's his fault, bro. Like, play your own game, you know? You're not a champion that can, like, really run around the map and, like, try to play for your jungle and all that. If your jungler is dying and you're giving him vision and, like, letting him know that, like, the threat is there and he's like not in clear danger unless he just runs into them, that's not your fault. Urgot needs his XP, especially in this matchup. You really need your XP. You cannot afford to just fuck around the map and walk around and sack XP unless you have a freeze. So say for instance, remember what I said earlier about that freeze? This entire play, if you had gotten that freeze earlier from like a minute ago and then moved, then this would have been a gorgeous play.
Yeah, she'd be
Because that
fucked.
entire time she'd be fucked, right? So if you had pulled that freeze instead of one-shotting that wave, then you can stay here as long as you want because then she's just bleeding XP the entire time. And then that would have been the correct play. You could have stayed here for as long as you want. You could have pushed off the jungler. You could have looked to fight because that no matter what happens, she's losing out, right? But because that when you one-shot the wave you left it neutral, it's just gonna bounce in the middle, and you're both gonna lose XP. But that's not good. You don't want to lose XP when you're ahead and like when you're in control of the lane, right? You don't want to be trading equally here. And furthermore, you waste so much time here. Like after this play ends, I mean, you could probably look for an E flash here, by the way, because that guy was super low. It
Oh,
doesn't really
yeah, I
matter
thought
that
about
Young's
it.
moving.
I
You
thought
could have for
about
sure looked for E flash.
I thought about buffering the snowball too with my E, but yeah, I
Yeah,
was playing like
yeah.
a fucking
So you could
pussy.
have fought that. That being said, it's fine because it's like it's still a risky play because mid has moved, and like it's not like the correct train of thought to think of can I fight this play, but you need to address the actual root cause and should I be in the situation in the first place? That's the most important thing here. Like, yeah, sure, you could eat flash, you killed it. That's not important, you know, that's easy mistake to fix next time, right? You need to not be in the situation in the first place. And especially here, like these clicks do absolutely nothing, right? You need to be straight back pathing to top lane here, right? She's already, like you already let her get the loop around, so she's back to top lane first, even though she's super chunked. And you could have just stood here and pushed her out, and she can't get past you from this angle, right? Unless her Nunu comes. So, but you already let her get back to top lane first, so you need to be immediately going back to top lane here and getting your XP ASAP. So you
Yeah,
click into the river here.
where the
Go
fuck
ahead.
did the Nunu go?
He probably just went back to farming.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he
I
probably just
was
went to
like,
do his camps.
I was like
But you
fucking
have to respect
paranoid.
Nunu. Yeah, but the thing is, like, even if the Nunu's here, like, what does clicking into the river here do?
Yeah, no, you're right.
If anything, it makes you more vulnerable to him, right? If
Yeah.
he is still there, and then they can collapse on you from two angles, right? So it doesn't do anything. If it, like it's for you just go this way, take the safer route, and then also it's the quicker route to XP as well, you know? So it's like it's a win-win for you. But clicking into the river here, you're losing it. We saw him flash right here. He was right here. Um, but this does nothing for you. Like literally, like this does absolutely nothing. Like they see you too on this thing. So like you're just sitting here, it doesn't do anything. If you look for the Nunu, it doesn't matter. You can't kill him anyways, right? There's like
Yeah.
nothing for him. There's like you have to think like why would he even be here? The scuttle crab is already dead. There's no reason for him to be here. You know? He's going back to farm his camps, or he's like, yeah, he's definitely looking back to go back to farm his camps to heal up, and he's gonna probably snowball back on you top lane. But again, you waste so much time in the river here. Riven is allowed to like get more XP than you, and she also gets to push on you now. And furthermore, you also have to respect the Nunu gank because he's probably here healing up with his Q, and then he's gonna snowball back on you here. So you have like it's like really really worrisome now to deal with here. And your jungle's pathing away as well, so you have no support. So it's just overall disaster scenario. So now you need to focus on letting the wave push into you because now you have to respect the Nunu. You're behind in XP, even though she was in a really compromised position because she was ahead of you when you were behind her over here, closer to the top lane. Now you have to respect the Nunu push in. You have to let her get pushed again, or else you're gonna get Nunu because you don't have a ward anymore. So overall, it's just like you're gonna lose control of the lane again because now she gets pushed. She can go into proxy position again. She can take a base first over you, come back onto the map because she's really fast with her Qs and dashes, and you're just constantly behind in tempo here. And this is all because you didn't chunk her here, or you didn't freeze the wave after she got into the proxy position, right? These small mistakes are you can see how hard they're snowballing the entire game
Oh yeah, they're
because
fucking eating me alive.
good players will take the tempo from you and they will keep the tempo, right? This game top lane is like all about for the most part, not always, but for the most part, it's all about tempo, 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 tempo. Like if you have tempo, which you did because you killed her, you cannot give the tempo. I mean, you didn't really have tempo because you killed her because she can get the proxy position, but like there are things you could have done to stop her from getting this much tempo. And you could have taken the tempo back as well. But now she gets tempo. She's just going to keep the tempo. And Riven is such a good tempo abuser. And this sounds stupid to say, but it's true. She is so good at keeping tempo because she has great short trades. She's a really strong laner. And she has so much wave clear and dashes. Like, she can do so much with her tempo. She just runs into your jungler, eats your mid wave, or eats your top wave, kills your jungler, glicks mid, and comes back to top wave before it's even close to dying, right?
Yeah, and that's what she did
So
the
like,
entire game.
yeah, exactly. And then you can't. It's like hard to take it back, especially if she gets leads from that. because she's just so fast on that map compared to you, and so much better wave clear early game. So you really need to not let her ever get into proxy. You need to lock her in lane here so you can abuse the fact that 1v1 you're stronger. You're playing to your win cons. You're playing to fight her 1v1, using her range, making her scared with your kill lead, and not letting her use her win cons, which is trying to bypass this hard lane, get into the proxy position, use her tempo to fuck with the map, fight 2v2s where she can beat you. So that's her win con. You need to identify her win con. You need to identify your win con and play accordingly. So this again, this kind of comes down to knowing matchups and knowing their power spikes and timings, that kind of thing. All right, let's see how this plays out mechanically here. So we do have her in lane now, and we have a freeze, and we are still healthier than her. We do have to respect the Nunu, so it's kind of hard to go aggressive on her here. But this is kind of where you want to start using your lead. So what a lot of Rivens will do is they'll look to E, W, Q out. And that's kind of when you have to go for the buffer on their stun. That's like the most reliable way if you can buffer on the E, W. It's hard for sure. I fail out many times. But what you need to do here to prepare that is you need to be using your range. So for instance here, you notice how you're walking like above. I mean, this is fine because you're hugging the bush, but like you kind of need to be posturing a little like more defensively here. You're not at your max range here, especially after she Qs in here, right? You're like kind of walking past your minion line, like you're melee checking her. You're not using your spacing well enough here.
Okay.
Because now suddenly she's in Q range, right? Again, what really is important in this matchup is making sure that if she wants to get on top of you, she has to use Q1 and Q2 to gap close, right? You're like melee range on her right now, and furthermore, you're also in her wave. You need to be postured either like here or like here. This way, if she wants to engage on you, she has to Q1, Q2, and then fight you in your wave, and you can posture defensively backwards here, and it's hard for her to go for this trade. But because you're like, again, the spacing is just it's kind of lacking here. You're not respecting the fact that she can Q forwards and hit you while you're in your auto animation. You're getting too caught out. So right here, you need to be fishing for Qs, right? Because the slow will really help with that spacing. And two, it can also try to bait her E out. If you can get her E out here, then you can maybe look for a more aggressive E. If you see Nunu elsewhere, that kind of thing. That being said, the threat of the Nunu here is really fucking you because you can't really play aggressive. So your entire goal should be, I just want to keep the freeze here, but I don't want to E forwards ever in case Nunu can just snowball on me from here, right? That's the goal. You want to keep the freeze here. You don't want to let her crash the wave. Use your HP advantage, use your spacing advantage to keep her lane locked, to keep her fighting you, and make sure you properly space. Yeah. So again, you have to be very careful with the Q here because you're in melee range and you're also like she can just dash through it. So you have to have some degree of prediction here. Like when you're gonna Q here, you gotta Q as she's going for the CS here. So one, you need to be standing back here, and then as she's going for the CS, you need to Q like here, so that if she dashes forward, the Q still hits her, and if she dashes back, she misses the CS. Right? You need to cause her to choose.
Okay. Yeah.
About whether to CS or to trade here with your Qs. And so, like I said, your spacing is really important here, right? So if she Qs here, it's fine. She eats the Q still. She gets the CS, but then you can look to pepper her with autos, PTA, some legs. Huge trade here because she used her E, and then she's also slowed, so it's harder for her to gap close on you this way. If she Qs away, if she E's away, that's fine. Then she's down without her E. You deny her CS, and she has to drop all these creeps because she doesn't have her E up. And you have both sums up and your E up. So all about spacing here. You're just getting too close to her. You're letting her use her dashes, her melee range to gap close onto you without having to use them to you're letting her use her spells to gap close and damage you rather than just purely for gap closing here.
Yeah.
And you need to be very careful with your Q as well because if she can dash over your Q, a lot of matchups are like this where like you just can't really use your Q because if they dash over them, you get boned. Like Jax is like that, Vayne is like that. If you use your Q like being like in a hypothetical situation where they just don't react, compared to if they just jump on you to jump over your Q, you can get punished very hard here, which this guy does. So he takes a pretty big trade on you here, which you shouldn't be able to get off. And now it's like kind of a scuff situation. Because like,
yeah, I tried.
It's just kind of hard to punish her here. Yeah. I get, because she has no E. If this was a 1v1 isolated situation to look for, one, there's two things to consider here. You have to look for, this is, again, it comes with the matchup. You have to look at what range your Q3 is casting at. Because her Q3 is bigger radius than her Q1 and Q2. So if she's doing a max range Q3, even with E down, you cannot hit this E consistently, right? Like look at her Q3 here, right? It's like super max range, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So like it's like really hard to hit this because she doesn't even have to like, if you walk back in any direction, you miss this, by the way.
Yeah,
because like
too far away.
it's just too max range. You have to be very, like you have to be looking like what range is coming in at, and this is just Kind of comes with experience in the matchup, but it's very important. Like I said, the Riven's entire goal in this matchup is to try to bait out your E. If she baits out your E, you are in danger. That is the only time where you could die if your E is down. So you need to be very careful, very respectful to not let yourself get baited here. So it's a max rank. She doesn't have E up, so that's like one win con ticked off. She doesn't have E up, so she can't E away immediately to dodge her E. But it's a max range Q3, so it's kind of hard to hit this. And second of all, you can't even really look for this E in the first place because again, we don't know where Nunu is. He could be here, he could be here, he could just be snowballing back topside at any time here because that's what Nunu loves to do. He just ganks perma, right?
Yeah.
You don't know where he is. This is too dangerous to go for here. If you E forwards, boom, snowball, right? You lose flash. If not, just die, and your game is screwed. So you can't look for this E in the first place. All that spacing talk is like in a hypothetical where it's in a 1v1. And this scenario, what you need to be doing is just using your range and not Eing forwards ever. Like I said, you want to use your range, use your spacing, use your Qs, use your PTA and your stronger distance to try to force her out of this wave and freeze the wave here. You're never giving her space to gap close on you, and you're never giving her space where you have to E forwards like this. So now it's just kind of hard because it's like not a favored 1v1. Yeah, and it's super close, but like it's too coin flip to take this, right? Imagine if you just didn't take like a slight bit less damage, like you spaced a little bit better here, you could have killed her here.
Yeah, literally just like a game of inches.
So it's the tiniest details that matter. Like that like 1 pixel Q3 that you wasted your E on makes a difference, right? Like if he was like half a frame closer, you could have landed that E, but you gotta recognize that this is like a max range Q3. It's hard to hit this. And he's just trying to bait you out here with it.
Yeah, because I mean, I thought I was fine here, to be honest with you. Especially when I fly. I think, well, I mean, it doesn't matter, honestly.
Yeah. It is really close.
If I turn my W off and auto with that leg proc, she dies, no?
Let's see.
I mean, it's so close. I'm also in, I'm taking minion damage.
It's hard because she's in her Q3 animation, so your auto could get interrupted.
Yeah, that's true, too.
It's like, there is definitely a world where you could have killed her here. I think if you played a little better, but what you should focus on is playing better before this trade starts, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Because you were like, look how much HP you were up on this guy at the start, right? You were so much HP up on this dude. But because she kind of out-traded you, and also you're fighting in her wave, right? Like I said, really need to be careful not to be fighting in her wave. You're fighting in your wave, you're taking all this creep damage. Literally like 2 lower creep autos, you would have killed her there, right? So it's so the small details, bro. Like, everything counts. Every inch counts. 1 less creep auto, like 1 pixel space better, you kill her here, and then your game is chilling. But because you didn't do everything like perfectly, you get fucked, right? Look at all this creep damage you just took for free. Like you're still taking creep damage.
I'm still taking it, yeah.
Right? Because you're fighting in her way. You can't be doing this. Like you got to think of it like a line of scrimmage. Like you cannot go past this line when you're trading, right?
Yeah.
You cannot go into her line as a range champion. Especially because you're range versus melee, you need her to come into your line, right? She needs to be coming into your line. You have to use your range here. That is your advantage, your range. Even though you're not really a range champion, you get what I mean? Like you do have more range on her, so you need to abuse that fact. You should never be having to like play into her field, right? The advantage is in your court. You never want to move into her court right here, which is with the minions. You need to be playing with your minions on your line, and this way you're not only are you safer from the Nunu gank, but you don't take minion damage. She can trade if he wants to trade with you. She has to take minion damage. If you trade with her here, she takes very minimal minion damage. That kind of thing. It all matters. So we die here, unfortunate, but now we know what to do next time.
It's a Singe player in me.
Yeah, I feel that though. Like it's so close too. It's so unlucky, but it's just so bad now. Like this is disaster.
Oh, I know. After I die there, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucked.
Yeah, it's very hard to come back from here now. This matchup is like, and she also didn't flash either, which is like the really bad part. Because now that she has flash advantage, if you ever waste your E, she can just flash in your head and one-shot you.
Yeah.
So now in a matchup where you should be winning at all points in the game, you have to play defensively for the next 5 minutes here.
Yep.
So that's like the worst part here. You can't abuse the fact that you're stronger than her for the rest of lane, basically, because you don't have flash up now, unless she like mega ints it. So now it's like kind of scuffed. So let's see how we can recover from here.
Yeah, now this is where she starts like moving all over the place, and then my team starts typing to me, and I'm like fucking getting pissed off too.
Yeah, I feel that. I'll be typing too much sometimes, man. I don't know. It's hard not to.
Yeah, nah, I used to type way
But in
too
this
much.
case, it is kind of your fault though.
No, it
Like,
is. No, it is. Yeah,
yeah,
I
like
knew that.
especially like letting her get the proxy, it is kind of your fault here. All right, so let's see how it plays out. She's gonna come back to lane. This is fine, slow pushing. This is the correct play. We're gonna deny her some melees. You can't push this wave fast enough to deny her any if you crash the wave. So deny her 3 XP. That's good.
Yeah,
What's her buy?
she got steel cabs.
Oh, she got steel caps. That is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a pussy buy though. I'm not gonna lie. As a Riven,
Yep. Yeah.
she wins steel caps. I mean, this really fucks your game. The good thing about steel caps is that it's kind of hard for her to 1v1 you now. Or like to really like kill you now because she doesn't have much damage, but you absolutely can never kill her anymore because you don't have flash up. I think she kind of grieves here by like pushing this wave, but I think she's trying to get prio for grub, so it's not the worst play for here. So right now it's like not the end of the world, but it's just very hard to come back because of this flash advantage that she has. So this grub fight's gonna be hard because of that. But right now you need to be thinking like, okay, the wave is neutral, grubs is coming up. How do I get myself in a position to play grubs? And honestly, because of how much stronger she is with items, I mean, she's not super significantly stronger, but she's definitely stronger. And she's also low level, full like half a level, 3/4 of a level up here. So it's kind of hard to ever get prio here. So what I would be doing right now is I would be looking to F key on my jungler here, seeing how close he is to completing these grubs. And right now you need to be assessing, okay, what is my goal in this lane now that I've fallen behind and she has flash advantage and she has still caps by. It's really hard for me to kill her realistically. The only way I can the only way I can viably kill her is if one, my jungle ganks her, or two, she like really fucks up. And I don't think she's gonna fuck up because it's really hard for her to fuck up. She has everything up. She has extremely good buy. She has flash up. She has ult up. She's like a full level up on you, everything. So you need to be looking to FK to your jungler here, seeing how close this guy is to completing the grubs and making your decision whether or not you need to help him with the grubs or play for your own lane here. Like if they're like really close to dying, I mean honestly you can never play for the grubs here. It's just impossible to move past her. And you get new snowball in the river. So many bad things could happen to you.
Yeah.
So you need to look at the grubs, be like, okay, is this guy gonna be finished with the grubs soon? Do I even need to move in the first place? Or two, if he's not finished with the grubs and this Riven's gonna come, clear this wave, and then move to grubs before he can finish it, do I need to spam ping him to be careful of the Riven? Right? Those are your two plays here, basically. But you're never really trying to fight her here. Again, you're kind of moving, like, this is like something that I've really noticed. You keep moving past your line here, right? You
Yeah.
need to focus on your spacing. I think your spacing needs to be improved for sure. Use the fact that you're a range champion, use your minion creeps, make her come into your line, use her dashes to actually gap close onto you to fight her here. But yeah, you just keep walking past too far your own line here. And you're taking really bad trades because of it now. So yeah, definitely focus on the spacing aspect, I would say. That's really important here. So let's see how this plays out. I would have kept the freeze here. So really important, when you're behind an Urgot, you need to always be playing to freeze. Because at this point, if you're behind, you can't really play for prio. You're too weak as a champion at this point if you don't have a lead to ever do anything to the Riven. So you need to play for the prio here. You need to play to hold the wave and make sure that she can't just use your tempo to fist her jungler on repeat like she did earlier. Like you need to keep her in lane here. And if she's not going for the proxy position, this is great. So after she kills this wave, you kind of want to read her body language here. Like if she's giving you space, usually what I'll do is I'll pretend to let it crash so that they get the confidence to like run into the river and they think it's going to crash. Like I'll like walk back here because every second counts, right? All you're trying to do is buy time for this wave to get here.
Yeah.
So what I'll try to do is I'll just try to bluff them. I'll walk back, and at the very last second, I'll walk forward and hold the wave again, and I'll drag it up into this bush. And they'll be like over here somewhere, thinking that I'm gonna have crashed the wave already. So really, really need to focus on the freeze here at this point. This is like your only bailout tool because your jungle is also top lane. And I'm gonna assume this guy's gonna hit 6 soon as well. So you really want to make sure he's in a vulnerable position when your jungler is 6 and on top side, so that you have some form of a bailout card here. But if you let this wave crash, it's just disaster because now the wave is going to push out to you. Not only are you going to be behind without flash disadvantage, but you're also going to be overextended to the Riven 1v1 and the Nunu gank here. And again, your jungler just gets fisted on repeat here, and the Riven is not getting punished for it, right? The wave is going to push out. If you move now, you lose XP because your wave stacked up like this.
Yep.
You know, so it's like everything is good for her here. If you froze the wave here, you could have at least denied her some XP. You could have gotten something out of her moving here, right? You could have spam pinged your jungle. Careful, careful, careful. Riven's moving, right? Be careful. Don't take any risky plays. It kind of sucks for your jungler because he's gonna lose his entire top side and he's gonna get mad at you again. But like, there's not much you can realistically do. You could have pulled the wave and then moved. You know, get some vision down. Use your ward help your jungler. That's also a viable play. You could have helped him out there, but you don't really have mid prio. So overall, it's not entirely your fault. It's just kind of a scuff play. But definitely wanted to look for the freeze here because she gave you the ability to freeze and you didn't take it. And then now she just gets tempo on the map again without being punished. So if she wants to do this kind of thing, you need to be looking, how can I punish this, right?
Yeah, right here I could have just
And
walked
even
right
if
back up.
yeah, even if your jungler wasn't on the side of the map, like there was nothing happening topside at all, like nothing going on here, you still need to be playing for the freeze because at the very least, this bails out your 1v1 for another wave. Like this is another, if you freeze here, this is another wave where you don't have to fight her. You don't have to be scared of the Nunu gank. You don't have to be scared of her flashing on you when you're in the middle of the lane here. Because if you're here, she can't use her flash advantage to flash on you. You're too close to your tower. But
Yeah.
if you're in the middle of the lane, you're dead. Especially if Nunu comes. Or at the very least, like chunked out and then have to base again. So let's see how this plays out here. Your jungler probably dies or gets fisted, loses top side. He probably gets mad at you. And now you're moving. And you could have done this with the freeze, and it would have been again, it would have been good, like just like earlier, right? You could have actually stayed and helped and fought this because the Riven would be bleeding topside the entire time. And it's still not a great fight to take because your jungler is super chunked and you're a level down, no flash. So I wouldn't take this fight here. But at the very least, you can help your jungle hover here, maybe 50-50 the smite, not let him die here. But ideally, you never want to take this fight because if you look at the condition of your teammates, your Rumble's like half HP, no ulti, your Nocturne's level 5, nothing, right? You can never take this fight.
Yeah.
So you should have frozen the wave here, then moved and just looked at these guys. Just looked at them fucking menacingly. Like just like bluff them, try to push them off, maybe help your Nocturne like 50-50 the smite. At least you're giving him some moral support so he doesn't feel as bad, you know? Like it actually matters. Like let
Yeah.
him know that you got his back, even if you don't actually got his back, you don't actually want to fight. Like all these things matter. But you never want to actually look for the fight because again, you just need to in these kind of scenarios when you know it's a 3v3, you just need to look at your teammate's condition and your own condition as well. Like you guys individually are all significantly weaker. So how the hell are you gonna ever 3v3? Right? These guys are all full HP. They all have their ultis, I'm assuming. Rumble's half HP, no ult. Your Nocturne's dead, no ult. This guy can't ever enter the fight anyways. So you can't like walk up here. Like you just like stay around this bush. Don't ever face check this bush because again, you need to use your range here. Maybe help him 50-50 the smite. That's it. But honestly, what I would do here is like you should just realize that your teammates are so fucked. You just being back off. Like we're not. This is not happening. Like there's no way we can do this. And if this guy's a good jungler, he'll realize it and accept the fact and try to play to still be in the game. Like go to his bot side, farm his bot side, maybe look for a bot side play later on. But if the jungler is bad, they're gonna tilt and they're gonna get tilted and they're gonna flip it and force you to die with them. Don't follow them here. That's not your fault, right? Just mute them and play your own game. Really important, you don't keep getting sucked into your jungler's shit because junglers are terrible at the game. They will always throw on situations where there's just 0% chance of winning the fight and kill your game as well.
Yeah.
So very need to play, especially as Urgot. Like you have to play for your own game. Like if they can invade it, bro, that's not your fault. Like I mean, maybe it's your fault, but you can't do anything about it as Urgot in this position. Like you need to just focus on making your own game as stable as possible. Get your XP, continue laning, and then once you hit 9 and Cleaver, then you can look to solo kill, help your jungler out more, maybe get back into the game. But if you're trying to fight as Urgot at this point in the game, especially when these guys are so fucking behind and out of the fight already, it's just never gonna work out, and you're all just gonna lose your game off this now.
Okay. So I guess I need to play that like I'd play Gangplank then, because I would not fucking do it if I was Gangplank.
Yeah, do not move. Urgot has to be a greedy fucking champion before 9. You cannot play for your jungler. You can play for your jungler a little bit, like you can help them a little bit, but you just gotta think, like how much am I losing for this? Like the risk versus reward here, right? You're losing, like, is this complete risk? Because you're losing topside here. This top wave is pushing out. You're losing XP here. This fight is unwinnable. There's no way you can ever win this. You have to, like, kind of look at these scenarios in the first hand and realize, like, as Urgot, my main goal right now is I want my 9, I want my Cleaver, and I want that shit ASAP. As fast as possible. That's my only goal here. After that, then I can look to be strong. Then I can look to help my team. Then I can look to play the map. And hopefully the game hasn't boomed too hard by then. But if stuff like this happens, you don't have control over it. You need to be realistic with yourself. Like, you can't do anything here. And furthermore, your teammates can't do anything. So you just can't get sucked into these plays by your jungler, ever. You need to really focus on your own game first. And then, after your own game is stable, like if you had a freeze or something and your game was stable, then you can look to help a little bit. You have some time. You have some downtime to move, some downtime to, like, help him get some wards out, whatever. You're never taking this fight, but at least, like I said, you can give him some moral support, right? Without missing anything. But now it's just, like, cooked. Because look at your wave topside. It's completely fucked. It's
Bro.
pushing out. You're going to miss this wave. You already missed this wave. You're going to miss this next wave now, too. You're dead as well. Your jungle is still losing his entire jungle. Your mid lane isn't base. This guy said fuck it. This guy's playing for his own game. He said fuck it. I'm dipping. Now everybody's fucking homeless, right? What like now your game is like super over. Like no one is in the game anymore.
Bro, I'm
And now
rewatching
it's like so hard to play.
rewatching this, bro. I feel like I'm retarded. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm
No,
fucking
it's all
retarded.
good, man. Like
Dude,
don't
why?
worry.
Like, cause why the fuck did I even walk towards that little bush right there by blue buff? I don't even
Yeah,
know why
yeah.
I walked that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you realize these mistakes in hindsight. It's kind of hard to find these mistakes in the moment, so don't feel bad about it. Like it's all a learning experience, bro. Like I definitely made that mistake many, many times learning Urgot, so don't even worry.
It doesn't help. I don't ever like rewatch my games either, bro. I just lose one. I'm like, oh well, it is what it is, and just fucking queue back up.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to like seriously climb, and you must be trying to seriously climb, you're getting coaching. Like you don't have to review your own game necessarily, but you need to like be thinking about why these things occurred and not the symptoms, but the root cause of them. So like the root cause of this is because you're not spacing correctly and you let her get proxy early, right? That's the root cause. But mainly it's because you're not spacing properly, and that causes you to take poor trades, which causes her to get prio, causes her to win the 1v1, and causes her to be able to like do whatever the fuck she wants with your jungler, right? So it's all these mistakes in hindsight, and then the symptoms as well you can fix as well, but it's more important to fix the root cause rather than the symptoms, which is the symptoms is the fight down here, the root cause was the spacing up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So
literally
all
it's
these
a
all these
domino
things
effect.
matter. Yeah, it's a domino effect. Like you can fix, you can try to do a band-aid, but it's more important to get to the bottom of it, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, my spacing's gotten better too, but it's
Yeah.
a process.
No, but this is like a tough matchup to do spacing in because Urgot has like really long wind-up animations and Riven has really fast dashes. So you
Yeah,
have to be like very careful, very concise with your clicks in this matchup. More like a lot more so than other matchups because she's just so quick with her ability animations and you're so slow. Like your auto is like so much slower the wind-up than her dash. So and your Q is really long cast time, and your E is really long cast time. It's all about like really perfecting your spacing in this matchup, which is not easy to do. So at this point, what does she buy? You're kind of fucked. Like the
yeah,
wave is pushing out here. Your Nocturne's bot. Nunu could easily be top. You have no flash. I'm pretty sure this guy still has flash. At this point, she could like flash on your head if you waste your E ever. So right now, your goal needs to be, okay, I'm kind of screwed here. I don't really have many options. If I respect the Nunu, I bleed out infinitely. If I don't respect the Nunu, I either die or I crash the wave or I die 1v1. So right now, like your only real play is that you're kind of forced to just dump everything on this wave and pray the river doesn't all in you and pray you don't get ganked. That's literally your best play, which is a terrible thing to have to be in.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
never want to be in a situation where you have to like fucking take this giga flip that's not even in your favor to like for your game to not be screwed. But that's realistically your only player because if you respect this guy, if you don't crash the wave here and you respect this guy, the Nunu will come top and kill you. Um, but at the same time, like it's like so hard to win because she's a buy on you and she has flash advantage on you. So right now, I think your goal needs to be because she's playing so aggressive. What you should realistically do is if she's not letting you crash the wave anymore, right? She's playing too aggressive. You can't realistically crash this wave. What you need to do is think, okay, how can I get this wave pushing back to me here? And Loki, she is kind of trading really hard, right? So what you should be doing in this matchup, what you kind of do is you want to stand in your minion wave here, right? If she's smart, she plays for this freeze and kills you every time, either 1v1 or through jungler if she can bait your E out. So what you need to do in this situation is that you kind of have to tank a little bit. I do this a lot in the Renekton matchup. If I'm behind, you stand in your wave, you bait her to trade on you, and you bait her to use her AoE abilities, her Q on the wave to get the wave pushing out on you here. Which you
okay,
kind
yeah,
of do here. So she like kind of does the same thing. She like chunks her wave. And honestly, this is good enough here. You should never Q here because your goal is never to trade with her. You're never looking for the 1v1 at the point. Again, it's all about assessing your win con on the fly, like seeing what you realistically need to do on the fly here to like get yourself to 9 to get yourself to Black Cleaver. At this point, it's never the 1v1. You're just not favored until level 9, especially when you're behind. Even if you're even, it's like still hard to win at this point in the lane versus Riven because she is stronger than you at this point. Um, so as soon as she W's this wave, in season 15, this is no longer a freeze. This is a slow push back to you. So now you're actually chilling. This is the best case scenario. You can just stand back and just not give her room to ever all in you. Just stand back here, avoid the Nunu gank as hard as possible. Honestly, you could probably stand back over here to avoid the Nunu snowball because they can just, if he snowballs you, they don't have flash, they can just flash on you and kill you instantly. Now you gotta think, okay, I really need to not die again. My game is already super hard. I need to not die again. My wave is fine again now because she's pushing this. You need to not dump anything on the wave. Thankfully, your Q misses, so it doesn't hit anything. But you need to never auto-attack the wave here, right? This is not a freeze. This is a slow push into you eventually. You'll lose a little bit of CS, you'll lose a little bit of XP, but at least it's playable again here. At least the wave will eventually come into you, and you can get your XP, and you don't have to die to a new gank or be threatened to get all in by the Riven here.
Can I?
But so you should,
Why?
yeah,
So you said it's not a freeze in season 15. Why? I heard you say that on stream too.
yeah. So basically, this could be a freeze, but basically freezes are so impossible to hold now. Like I'm pretty sure this is not even a freeze anymore. I don't know. The reason is because minions are just way squishier and they also do way more damage. So basically, now to have a freeze, I think you need like 5 minions, like a
Okay.
true freeze, right? I'm pretty sure if nothing happens in this wave, this will turn into a slow push because these minions will just die so fast now that by the time these minions arrive, the wave has been so thinned out that it's no longer a freeze, right? Like it will just stack up like on her side of the map and then push into you slowly. So it's the room to freeze a wave is significantly harder now. It will almost always turn into a slow push, which was Riot's intention. They kind of wanted to kill freezing. So wave management is a lot trickier now. It's a lot hard to win lane through wave management. You still can, but you have to play a lot better. Like you have to have like a significantly better wave management to win through it now because freezes will just turn to slow pushes now usually, and you can't like indefinitely freeze on people anymore. Like from here, even though you're a full minion up, this is a slow push for sure. It's a slow push. So you don't have to like step up here and risk anything. You can just stand back and chill and let the wave push into you. This is not a freeze.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Especially if he's trading with you.
I heard you talk about that, or you said like, yeah, that's not a freeze anymore. And it was 3 minions, and I actually, I think in a game yesterday, I didn't walk up because they held 3 minions, and I was like, I mean, I heard you say it's not a freeze anymore, so I just fucking trusted. I was behind. I just wanted the wave to come back to me, and it started slow pushing back to me, and it fucking worked out. So I was in a fucking shitty spot. I didn't know why though.
It kind of sucks because even though it's not a complete freeze, it will still be frozen for a little bit, but it won't be an indefinite freeze. And you'll be bleeding XP and you'll be bleeding some CS. You know, you'll definitely be bleeding some CS, maybe some XP if they zone you off. But that is the best case scenario from this spot, you know?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
like
And my team's
you
winning.
can't do anything else, right? Like losing a couple XP is much better than dying and losing 2 waves,
Yeah,
which is like extremely likely. Because if Nunu is even looking top here at all, which he easily could be because it's a fucking Nunu, I'm surprised he hasn't come top already, considering how like compromised your position is. You are fucked. And also, even if he's not there 1v1, you are still fucked because you're on this side of the lane with no flash. She has flash up and like 1,000 gold over you
yeah,
and a level over you. So like 1v1, you're fucked. Just in every single way you're fucked.
yeah. No, it's just
So
depressing. Yeah,
losing a couple XP is like the best case scenario here. So as soon as she does this, you're fine. You should never be looking to hit this wave ever here, right? Your goal needs to be, I need this wave pushing into me, and I need it pushing into me fast, so I can just stand back, not get risk of gank, and just continue to farm. But because you hit this wave, it's still on her side, right? Now it's still on her side because you're hitting this wave, right?
yep,
So now like she could have pulled these minions. It's still not a freeze, but again, it's not about the freeze. You got to think about like how long can I be here in the lane before Nunu comes and kills me, or before she decides to just all in me here. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you want to be here as little time as possible because the longer you're here, the more likely disaster scenario occurs. You know. So you want to be, it's not a freeze indefinitely, but it's still a freeze for now. Thankfully, she clears it. She doesn't pull it. If you pulled it a little bit, you would have been in there for like maybe like 20 more seconds. And those 20 more seconds is 20 more seconds you could have died easily.
yeah,
So, yeah. So again, you need to not be aggressive here because you just need to be really respectful. Again, your game is, you can't win 1v1 versus guy. So you're never looking for trades, especially if you don't know where the jungler is. So you need to be very careful here. I'm really surprised Nunu is just not killing you on repeat here, knowing you don't have flash. Because you have zero vision. And you're just going for these aggressive trades, which you can't even win, by the way. Like, if this guy just called your bluff, I think he's just respecting your jungler or something. He doesn't know. No, he sees your jungler bot.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, so my jungler was autofilled an ADC player this game. So I mean, their
yeah.
jungler might have been autofilled too. I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, that guy.
Nunu is like way easier to play as autofill than Nocturne is.
Also, oh yeah, that Nunu's name is also like fucking Agrin or Ogren, whatever that fucking player's name is. I'm actually probably a jungle player.
Yeah. I mean, but regardless, autofill or not, it's not about that. It's like you need to never, you're never trying to play aggressive here ever, right? You're never walking up here. You always need to be thinking about what your goal is. Like, that's really important on almost every champion. You got to be knowing what your goal and your lane is. Well, first of all, it's like your win con, right? What's Urgot's win con? Urgot's win con is he wants to get every XP, every CS. Don't care about the 1v1 unless it's completely free. not die to jungle gank, hit 9, hit Black Cleaver, ASAP, then boom, then you become a god, right?
Yeah.
That's Urgot's win con in lane. So your every single step in lane needs to be towards achieving that win con. And you need to be really realistic with yourself. Like here, you're not winning the 1v1, you're danger to the jungle gank. Why am I fighting her here? I'm just making it volatile. I'm opening myself up to the 1v1, which I don't even win. I'm opening myself up to the jungle gank, which definitely I don't win. And then I lose XP, I lose gold, I fall even farther behind. I make the lane volatile. You need to keep the lane stable, not risky, just completely chilling for you, as risk-free as possible. So these clicks, what are these clicks achieving? Nothing. All these clicks are achieving is making your game like harder to play for you here. If you click backwards here, you play defensive. Your wave is good. This guy didn't punish you for pushing that wave out. She's probably gonna push this wave again. This is fine, right? She's gonna get prio at that point. That's completely fine. Like you can't do anything about that. You've fallen behind. Letting her proxy is now good for you because now you're on the defensive end. You don't care if she proxies because that means you get golden XP for free without worrying about anything. If her jungler gets invaded again, that's fine. Whatever. You can't do anything about it. So now, like you just need to be playing defensively here. You need to be playing conservatively, not playing aggressive, making sure to make your game as risk-free as possible to achieve your goal, which is hitting 9. And if you were ahead, you could like it would be different because then you could push your lead a little bit more without as much risk. So it's like all these factors are just like really important here. The risk versus reward.
Yeah. Yeah. This is also I thought that she had it like frozen too. That was before I knew the I guess the wave changes
Yeah,
or the menu changes.
That's fucked me over so many times this season. It's a learning curve for sure. So yeah, that's totally valid.
Yeah, I mean
So here this
honestly,
is all fun.
after watching it, I can't even believe I fucking won this game. I'm not gonna lie.
You guys win this game?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, this matchup gets really hard for Ruben after 9 and Cleaver.
Yeah, I think that's what bails me out half the time. And Urgot's just like really fucking strong right now.
Yeah, like even if you fall behind, you're not behind enough that if you can hit your 9, if you can hit your Cleaver, you still whop this guy easily. But that's like the important part. You need to not fall even more behind before then. Like you need to just play for your power spikes, play for when you know you're guaranteed strong, and not this flip shit where like you're gonna die no matter what you do if you interact, you know, or like it's like super like you're gonna die here.
Yeah, I get bailed out a lot with like versus Jax, dude. I always fuck up early and then I hit level 9 and get Cleaver and then I just hard win the lane or side lane the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I've
So
learned
just
now.
imagine like
I've,
go ahead.
I've learned now like if I just don't die early, I just win. Or I just wait for them
exactly.
to fuck up. If they jump on me when they shouldn't, I just play off that and I just stop playing aggressive.
Exactly.
Same thing with
Yeah,
Aatrox.
Urgot's not a champion like that. Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Perfect.
bro,
learning.
last split versus Aatrox, because last split was my second split playing Urgot, like actually. I had 15 total games against Aatrox, and I won one of them for the entire split.
Really?
I was 1-14 versus
Holy
Aatrox.
fuck.
Yeah, it was really bad. And this season, I think I'm 3-1 now. But dude, I started rushing, just skipping everything, just going Swifty's first item, and I just started winning
Yeah,
a lot.
that helps a lot if you're struggling the matchup. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Aatrox matchup is like all about avoiding his Qs.
bro, I watch you play it and you just fucking hard win it. Like, I was just like, dude, what the fuck, man?
I have a lot of games in that matchup. It's because you really like the Aatrox matchup. I also played a bunch of Aatrox. I think playing Aatrox helps a ton with playing against Aatrox. It's all about knowing where he wants the Q and how he wants to combo his Q with his E and which Q he's comboing with his E.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I used to do that when I started League. I would always play champions that I struggled against, and it helped me a ton. But I don't do it anymore. I also don't get to play as much as I used to. So,
I mean that's fair. That's for sure. I mean real life is more important.
yeah, no,
But yeah, Aatrox is a matchup where like you need a lot of experiencing because it's literally all about movement, right?
it is definitely.
It's super hard because like it's a hard matchup because Aatrox is like 10 times more range than you, and you can't really aggress onto him once he's got a lead or like after like level 3 if he gets steel caps or something. Really hard to play the game. But if you have good movement, it's like much more playable.
I noticed like last split when I was 1-14 against him, I would actually win lane sometimes. Actually, a decent amount of times. I'd do pretty well in lane, but I would notice like I'd first blood them, I'd burn flash ignite, and they would first buy still caps, and I would go damage, and then I'd get space to hell, and they would hit everything on me, and I get poked out of lane. So I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna first buy Swifties, and since I started doing that, both of us just buy tier 2 boots first, and then it just evens out the lane, and I don't know, but it's helped me a lot. But yeah,
Aatrox when he gets steel caps is Exodia. You cannot do shit if he has steel caps.
Yeah, no, actually, his range is like fucking. It's like Caitlyn, dude.
Yeah, my game plan that lane is I want to try to play as aggressive as early as possible before he can get boots and can space you out. Like level 1, you can beat him if you can space properly. You really, really want to make sure that you punish him so that when he has to use his TP, he doesn't have skill caps. If you can get him to use his TP without full skill caps by, it makes your lane significantly more playable.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
had a
it's kind of hard
problem.
to do that if you're yeah.
I've had a problem too because like, I didn't start playing Urgot until I actually started watching you because when I started watching you I actually still just played Singe, but like you're like educational as fuck. So you talk about a lot, you explain a lot, the stuff you do. But what the fuck was I gonna say?
Yep.
Oh, I always would autopilot the start of games and I still do. I'm still punching in my fucking head how important level 1 is on Urgot and just like getting in a lane. Because like on Singe, bro, like sometimes you go proxy or like I'm like, all right, well I can't fucking
Yeah,
walk
it's
up.
completely
I'm just gonna
opposite
fucking
camps.
stand here. And
Yeah.
yeah, so now like I force myself to fucking try to get bush prio when I play games. I try to. Some games I still don't. I fucking will be jerking off doing other things, but I'm trying.
Yeah, I think to help with that, I think a really important thing is just knowing which champions what the champion's win con is, like not just for Urgot, like for Sin, for instance, like you said, but like for Urgot, like you need to identify your weak points and your strong points and your win cons. I think you should always go over these at the start of the game if you're like seriously trying to climb. So like Urgot's strong points level 1, weak points anything else
Hmm.
till level 9, right?
Yeah.
So level 1 want to play aggro as possible, and then and after the first 3 waves usually, because you can get prior level 1. After the first 3 waves, your goal is to make your game as stable as possible, as risk-free as possible, unless they completely int it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So always need to assess your win cons. Autopiloting is never good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely does
no.
not help.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
it's
know.
for it's I played I mean I Gangplank's my most played champ of all time, and then Riven. But then I spent 2 years only playing fucking Singe, and I think since I did the 2 years of Singe, I climbed a lot, and I think it helped me learn the game better. In some sense, like a macro
Gotcha.
sense, but like, dude, like my spacing and shit now, mechanics when I first started playing Urgot and Gangplank again is like fucking scuffed. I was like, I fucking
Yeah, I
forgot
mean,
how to.
Singe is like
It's just no mechanics, bro. It's just all
there's
macro.
no less mechanics than Urgot.
But like, I was like winning. I could still win games sometimes just by like being able to like pilot around the map better than some players. But yeah, the mechanics and space. Like you keep calling my spacing, bro, and I talk about it a lot, dude. I'm like, bro, my spacing's got to be better.
I think the most important part for fixing your spacing is just playing behind your minion wave.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You're no
you
you.
just gotta think of an imaginary line where
Yeah,
your minion
dude.
wave is
I
and
was about to
just
say you
respect
drawing
that.
that fucking line is just gonna fucking be implanted in my brain now. So
Good, good. I'm glad. All right, let's talk about what's happening here. I mean, this is like after this, the line is like pretty like you're almost 9 here, which is good, but like it's gonna be hard for you guys to win this game from a 1v1 point until you're level 9 here. But now we're like, thankfully, we haven't actually gotten punished. You can actually beat this guy here.
yeah,
You know,
that's what
you
I was
play
thinking.
this,
Yeah.
see what happens. Yeah,
Um.
it's still a little flip though because if she flashes your flash, it's like too risky, and you are ideally waiting to cleaver.
Yeah. I'm on Cleaver. That's. I think that's why I wasn't gonna fight it.
Yeah, yeah, good point. Good. I would not take this fight either because like you could win that if you hit the E, but if she flashes it, you just dead, and it's just too risky. You don't need to take this risk. Again, all about like lowering risk and playing for when it's 100% guaranteed. That being said, here, if you see them fighting and you realize you can't move, and your Nocturne's already dead, you realize this play is over, right? It's a complete. Your Nocturne's dead before the even gets there, so the play is over regardless. But you should be paying your team to back off here, and then you don't base here. Like you need to use your time here. Like I think in your head you're thinking like I just want to go home and get cleaver, but you need to think like if I push this wave out, is there even any punishment to doing this? Like they're all here, right?
Yeah. No,
So
you're right. Yeah.
definitely want to push this wave out for sure before you go home because there's no punishment to doing so, even though you're already on cleaver.
No,
So
you're
push this wave out
yeah,
first, then base.
you're absolutely right. Holy shit, man.
Yep.
And that's like if I were watching someone else play the game, I would be like, yeah, you should push that. But like when I'm
Yeah.
sitting there playing, it's like I'm probably sitting here fucking looking at chat. Like I'm muting someone because they're fucking
Oh
typing to
yeah,
me.
it's hard. That's
Yeah,
hard, bro.
I'm fucking tilted. Well, yeah, fuck this shit, dude.
Playing while streaming, I play so much better off stream. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah, but you see here, like this entire sequence, again, your wave is screwed because of that. But yeah, you give me your mistake. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So let's not focus on that. Let's go to the fight here. Now, okay, but now like we're 9, we're cleaver, like we're
Oh,
God
please,
mode now.
close
Yes.
your eyes, bro.
Oh, that I mean, honestly, I would have thrown it like that too.
Yeah,
I that's what I've done to that as well.
okay.
I can't even fault you for
I
that.
wanted the ribbon. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking maybe she's still back there too, but
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
just
I would have
bad
thrown it for the
overall.
Maokai in that scenario too, but that's fine. That's like whatever. All right, but now okay, we're finally 9. We had a little bit of a struggle early game, but we're finally strong. We have our 9. We have our power spikes. We're a level down, but it doesn't really matter at this point. This guy probably has Eclipse. He definitely has Eclipse and Tabbies, so he's definitely strong. And he honestly can beat us because he has Tabbies over us. So let's see how this plays out.
Here he's typing to me. I'm like, dude, fuck off, man.
So let's see how this plays out. Okay, I wouldn't base here. So can you like, what's your like your train of thought over this base? Like, what is your goal here?
Oh, there's no train of thought, brother. It's this guy's typing
Oh,
me.
okay.
I'm fucking replying, and I'm like not even thinking about shit anymore.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm
But
already
yeah, this base is
tilted.
useless.
Yeah, I'm already tilted, and yeah, I'm just yeah. No,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
this is
I
like
got you.
emotional gameplay. I'm not gonna lie.
I got you.
Yeah,
So this
because
is fine.
it's not even a
Yeah,
cannon
switch
wave,
is always
so it's like
fine. Yeah.
she can get
Also, this is like your strong point, and you like you have both thumbs up. This is when you want to start playing the game now.
yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's not even a cannon wave, so you probably lose first tower here as well for this base, plus a wave. So it's just like kind of cooked now. And again, game of snowballs, right? Like, game of inches.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All because of that early game when you let her walk past your wave and get prio without chunking her, that kind of set up your whole game up for failure. So again, let's see how this trades play out here. We are able to 1v1 her now, but the thing is, if you want to look to 1v1 her, you need to be very careful not to take this chunk. Like, these 1v1s, especially when she has tabbies over you, are winnable, but you always need to make sure to get the jump on her. And a lot of matchups are like this, where they're still hard because you're like slightly behind, but now you're equal level. You just need to be very careful not to ever let her get the jump here.
Yeah.
So again, this is spacing. You gotta realize that like she's probably gonna Q3 you and E away here. And you could look to buffer your E into her E, but it's risky because she still has her E up and she could E in like a different direction.
And
So I mean, she just used your she just used your E. You could look to E this, right? She kind of E's into you here. You could have killed her here. I mean, not killed her, but chunked her really hard. Because she just used your E actually before that.
yeah, that's just me not
Right?
knowing
You
that.
saw
Because
that?
I still think
Yeah.
she beats me here.
Yeah. No, you beat her here for sure. Because you're equal level. You have even though she's probably like here on the XP bar. Right now, you're equal level. So definitely want to take this fight if you can.
Yeah.
This is when you hard win. But this is a
I
knowledge
think
knowledge gap.
since she like fucking bursted me, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking relax.
Yeah. No, that's all good. Um. Now, because she bursted you though, now it's hard to play. Like this small chunk is a big deal.
Yeah, okay.
It's a
Yeah.
significant deal because now you're already behind tabbies. You need to be full HP. Like your Swifty Spy doesn't do anything in the 1v1. I would have honestly maybe bought Ruby Crystal Longsword here just for some more combat stats because at this point you're trying to play for the 1v1. But Swifties is fine too. You just need to not get hit by these things. Like now it's like you're down 500 HP, which is a significant deal because now she can all in you without getting one shot.
Yeah, this is like
So
stuff that I would like always get away with too, and that's why I was like sitting here thinking, dude, this guy's playing this shit. Like, I mean, in my opinion, he's playing it really well, but I mean, he also griefed the first blood to me. But other than that, I feel like he.
I
Played
mean,
pretty
he's
well.
definitely not a bad Riven player though. This guy kind of knows what he's doing. I can tell.
Yeah, I looked at his OP.GG. So in this game, I think he was D3, and now he's Masters like 50 LP.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is not. He's definitely played this matchup before. Let's just say that I can tell. Like this chunk here, especially because like, okay, the thing is like, this chunk kind of sucks because like he's using his E to gap close, but if he uses his E to gap close, you should punish it. But like with your Q, like if he uses E like this, right? You need to have your Q up. Like it's really important not to have your Q down in this matchup. Like you don't want to be using your Q for farm. Like here, when he E's forward like this, like you need to be saving your Q. Like when he E's here, as soon as he E's, you need to be very tight with your spacing here. It's kind of hard to do, but like imagine like say he E's forwards here, right? On this play, he E's forward. Your train of thought is, I'm kind of scared. Like, right? I'm scared. Like you're clicking back. As soon as he E's forwards and you realize he's not in range, like he turns back now, right? If he turns back now,
I need to go
you
forward.
click too far back, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you need to immediately be matching his clicks, going forward with him as tightly as possible, and then queuing him, and then auto WPTA proc trade, and you get an equal trade on him, and then now you can look to fight again,
Okay.
right? But
yeah.
so you get this Q on him here. Imagine if you were like slightly closer here, you could hit him with like a couple autos, PTA trade, proc before Z comes back up and back out with your Swifties and Black Cleaver movement speed before she can react here. If Riven's E is down, she is significantly weaker in this lane.
Yeah, that's what
If
I'm
Riven's E
thinking
is
of.
up, it's harder to play.
Yeah, you keep focusing on her E, and
Yeah,
I
it comes down to her E entirely.
I focus on her Q, so maybe I need to think about that more. Maybe
Nah, her
her
Q is
E.
not important, dude. Her Q is perma up.
Yeah, honestly,
that that shit is always up. It's
Yeah.
her E that really matters here. If she
Okay.
wastes her E, you need to punish it because her E lets her gap close without using her damage, plus gives her a shield. If she uses her Q, she has got a gap close with it usually, so she loses a lot of damage for that. And it's basically always up at this point. Like it's got no cooldown.
Yeah,
So
it's like when I got back to lane 2, she Q3 W'd me, which got a clip shield, and I'm attacking her back, just hitting a shield, and then she E's away, and I'm just still hitting a shield. So I literally get nothing out of it. Yeah, it's the same thing here.
Yeah.
Again.
So what it just kind of comes down to like getting a lot of Riven games down, but this is a combo that Rivens do a lot because they don't really want to use their Qs to gap close. So they'll do EW auto Eclipse proc Q out for like really big burst trades that you can't react to because of Eclipse shield. Like he does it here, right? EW auto, and then he Qs out,
Yeah,
right?
and this shit's
Before you can
it's
react.
pissing me off.
Yeah. So you kind of have to watch out for this. If they're like posturing aggressive you at like this is really hard to do because it's kind of hard to react to, and it's a little riskier to react to up here. But if you were like down here, closer to your tower, where she can't really threaten it all in here, because of this chunk, if you didn't take this chunk, if she does that combo, you could have thrown the all in, like, and potentially won it. It's still a little hard though because she has hella combat stats on you, Tabby's double longsword to your Swifties, and she's leveled up on you. But it's still, if you were equal, it's like you for sure win it. But you're not equal, so it's like I actually can't tell if you win it or not from this HP and from this item disadvantage. I think you lose it actually. But if you were here, you could have taken that trade. You just need to be very like respectful of it, and that is honestly like the I wouldn't say the easiest, but like the most consistent window to buffer your E into her because she can't react it because her W self stuns her for a little bit. If you can buffer your E into that combo, you can get really, really good trades on her,
Into
especially
her.
if you're not in a position where she can all in you
So
after
buffer my
that.
E into the EW.
Yeah, like if you can see, like it's kind of hard to get down. Like, let me see if I can slow this down here. Speed 0.5. Like you see here, as she goes into you here, like she kind of makes it obvious, right? She like it's the hard as fuck to react to, but if you get experience on this, it is reactable too.
Yeah.
Like you can tell she's gonna EW here. That being said, it's not correct for you to E her here because you're just too far up the lane. You're too far behind in levels and combat stats. If you E her here with this already taken chunk, you probably just get all in and killed. But this is kind of just like a matchup tip for future games where like if you're in a position where you can actually E her without worrying about getting all in run you run down, this is kind of where the most consistent window to E her comes from, like to buffer her abilities comes into. Because if she Q3s you, max range Q3, she can space it, she can space your E. She can also E out because it doesn't have the delay. She can do Q3E before your E hits, and she can bait out your E that way. It's like she's just trying to bait out your E on the Q if you're trying to buffer her Q, unless she like really griefs it. This is like where you kind of want to look to play for, right? When they EW.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like the more consistent window here. Oof. All right, works out. But you can kind of see like these trades are like if this guy didn't bail you out, you were fucked because of
Oh
these
yeah,
trades.
I'm fucking dead.
So you
Yeah.
need to be like I said, you need to be very tight with your spacing. Make sure she can't just like walk up to you like this, like. And if she does this, you need to be ready to eat her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if she can just take free trades like this on you, either you're not in the position in the first place to let her do this kind of trade, because she just chunked half your like all your HP for literally for nothing,
Yeah.
right? Or you're either not in the position to let her do these trades in the first place, or if you are, you're ready to fight her, you're ready to eat her, you're ready to all in her, or ready to buffer your abilities into her. So it's either one or the other. You can't just like take these trades where you're like half-assing it. You're not able to use your E, or you don't use your E, but you're also taking terrible trades as well. Like you can't do this. This is like terrible for your game because now like you're just completely cooked. This is like the strong point in the lane where you can actually like start turning the tides. You can actually start getting back into the game. But because of these terrible trades you're taking, if you didn't go bailed up, if you don't get bailed up by your Nocturne here, you're cooked.
Yeah, I think I only E4 there because I knew Nocturne was coming. I think I was just trying to get her to come back to me.
Yeah,
But
no, I
so
mean you
my-
shouldn't
my
E-Force
auto-
here because your Nocturne can reach her anyways.
Yeah, I am my fucking. I mean,
Yeah,
my
you
auto
should
is
either
fucking
look
dog
to
shit.
you either look to E-Flash her here, which is still risky because she has her dashes up, or you look to wait for Nocturne Fear.
Yeah. Okay.
But you should never E this because this makes it honestly wouldn't be doable if she just goes on you here. Like you E-Flash her here or something before, then it's playable.
Yeah, I played that really bad.
But this Riven griefs it. I'm pretty sure she kills you if she doesn't grief this.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
I think she like what does she do? How does she grief this? I think she just miscalculates her damage.
Did she not? Did she even use her W?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
You flash away from it. That's well played. But yeah, you just get bailed out here. So like again, this is like not something you can consistently play for. Like if you get ganked first and your Nocturne doesn't come, you're screwed.
Yeah. No, this entire game was like, because I mean, I won the game. My KDA at the end of the game is like 10-4, but it's like I knew at the end of this game after winning, I was like, I went 10-4. It looks good on OPIGG. I did not do shit. I did not do anything right.
I
Like,
feel that.
it's like I'll take
Yeah.
it, but I mean, no, I mean, I didn't play well, so
Yeah, that's okay. We fix these mistakes here.
yeah.
All right, so now this is you should go pickaxe here every time. Good. You always want to go pickaxe if you can because it's just the most gold efficient item. It costs the most out of all the components, so
Yeah.
always want to be buying pickaxe when you can. Plus, it's just the strongest here anyways. All right, now the lane's kind of over. We're gonna be moving into the mid game now. Let's see how we play this macro. Grubs are up. Or sorry, not Grubs. Herald is up. This guy is still a little bit stronger than us, but it's definitely closing the gap. We're definitely not that behind anymore because of this kill in the tower. We're kind of chilling. We're equal level now too.
Yeah,
I think she still has flash, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she still has flash. Yeah.
I
So here, this is like a scenario we could have fought it really easily. Because one, you have backup from your Nocturne. And again, this matchup, you need to really pay attention to when she uses her E. If she uses her E like this, then you can start fighting her. Right? Like she used her E like
Okay.
this.
Yep.
So immediately what you need to have done, if like even imagine your Nocturne wasn't here, but because your Nocturne is here, you have the backup to all in here. But if your ult was up here immediately, and this guy looks to trade like this, like look at how he plays this, right? He E's here. He E's forward here. Immediately, as soon as this happens, he's gonna play defensively, right? So you need to kite with him here. You keep cutting backwards for a frame of a second, and this frame actually really matters because now you're no longer in Q range. Or if you're in Q range, you're not in Q range auto range,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
It's like if you were here, she just eat, you Q her here, you hit your W on, and you like dance with her here. Like she like moves forward, but she's slowed by these lines are terrible. What the fuck? Like you hit your Q here, and she's like you're here instead of here, and she's slowed. You have movement speed from Swifties and Black Cleaver. She has no E. She kind of can't really gap close on you. So you just stand here, and if she like, you just like move around with her. Like if she moves backwards, you move back with her. If she moves forwards, you move backwards with her, and you just kind of keep her at a leash range because, and it's not even hard to do because she's so slowed by Q and she has no shield. So that way, if she wants to gap close on you, she has to use her Qs to gap close, which means she doesn't have them for damage. And then you can look for a beefy trade on her, and then the next all in you can kill her because you have a big trade on her here. So again, spacing is super important in this matchup, especially if you waste your E like this. And also you have your jungle coming anyway, so like here, yeah, nice. E buffer, perfect.
Yeah, that's the one I always look for. I always look for the Q3.
Yeah, the Q3 is honestly not bad. You just gotta make sure she doesn't have her E up, or if she Q3s, it's like in close range, because I guess I'm like kind of talking about this from my own experience with high elo ribbons. If you're like in Masters, I don't know how much elo this guy is, but like they usually won't play that well on ribbon. Like here, like if this guy had E up, he could have Q3'd and E'd away immediately before you got this off. He also
Yeah.
Q3'd too close to you as well. So honestly, even if he had E up here, you kind of get you still I think you still hit it before you can E away. The thing is like he just like look at how close he Q3's you here, right? You have too much room to buffer this. It's easy for you, right? He's like on top of you here, right? So it's easy to buffer this. Even if he E's away, you still probably snag him because it doesn't cover the range of your E.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if he plays it a little bit better, like a little bit better spacing, max range Q3, you can never hit this if his E is up. So that's something you have to always be careful for, and that's why the Q3, if the Riven knows the matchup, is a lot harder to play for.
Oh, missed off.
That's okay. You have your Nocturne, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I haven't had that problem at all versus Riven 2. They always Q3 in range of my E, so I've been able to hit it. But
Okay, if that's
yeah.
what you're finding, like the Rivens you're doing, then that's a totally acceptable way to play. I think I'm probably talking about like my games versus Viper. So,
Yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
definitely
no,
a little
yeah, I was
biased.
gonna say, yeah, they'll. That's probably something they'll just get better at, and that's something I need to think about. Because what
Yeah,
you're
as
saying
you
makes
as you
sense.
go up
Because
for
when she does
sure.
W, she self stuns. Like you're 100% right.
Yep. And the W makes her have to be in melee range of you. So even if she E's away, you still hit her. But the
Exactly.
Q3, because it's such a large radius, if she Q3 E's away, it's bigger than the range of your E, so she can dodge it. It won't hit, your E won't connect here. All right, we're chilling. How much gold do we base with here? All right, that's fine. Double longsword. I honestly, do you even need to base here? Yeah, you do. I'm saying you're too low. Yeah, you base here.
I should have went double
I don't know if you
longsword
should have
here.
waited for tunneler. No, you don't go double longsword because it doesn't build asterics. But what I'm thinking here is that you wait, you sell your pod and you wait 20 gold for tunneler because double ruby crystal is pretty shit.
Okay.
It's not the worst buy, but like, I mean, nah, this is fine.
I
I
thought
think what I would have gone here is the longsword ruby. That's the best buy.
okay. I thought about waiting, but
No, I take it back. You're too much gold off. I did the math wrong.
I mean,
I mean, ruby crystal's fine, but I would just gone long. It doesn't matter. It's not important. Small detail. At this point, the most important thing is you get the pickaxe because
yeah.
that's the most gold efficient
Yeah.
slot, and you already have that, so that's fine. All right, here, one thing that you want to do in mid game, especially, is that when you walk out of base, and your wave is like all the way up here, like you're basing here, and your wave is all the way up here. What you really want to make sure you do is that you don't walk straight to top lane because that's like the least efficient path.
you-
Your wave is all the way here.
You say walk up mid?
You don't have to. I mean, you can walk a mid, but what you want to do is you want to like at least take this path through the jungle here. So that way you can check the river. You can drop like a ward here in the river as well. So that way when you get back to top lane, you don't have to be scared about the jungle gank. But if you walk all the way top lane here directly, then like you can get ganked here, right? That kind of thing. So like at the very least you want to walk like it kind of depends on how fast the wave is and how far where she is or pushing it. But like if you go all the way back here, I think you have time, right? You could have walked like here, dropped the ward like here, and then walked here. It would have been like pretty much the same time. And
Yeah.
then that way you could have been covered from a jungle gank here. That's gonna come. Like I just saw the Nuno, right? He does come.
It's funny you say that because when I play Singe, normally like, used to, I would if I had like my wave that far, I wouldn't just walk straight to lane. I'd walk like through mid or something, and that just in case something
Yeah,
like
that's
breaks
fine
out
too.
or my mid gets
Yeah,
ganked or something,
perfect.
I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you know it then. Yeah, perfect.
I just don't
Mid
do
is
that.
like fine too. It just doesn't look like anything's happening mid,
Yeah.
and you have your tower up, so it's fine. If like it was later in the game and stuff was happening, you can definitely walk mid and then top. It kind of just depends on how far your wave is and like how much wave clear the dude has. Mid just takes a little bit too much time. It's a little too early to walk mid because these guys are here. They're not really in any danger, right? There's nothing that
Yeah.
can really kill them from here, and it would take too long to walk here to here. This like it's too long. You would miss CS, but like here is like a lot shorter. That's fine. And then you can drop wards in your jungle. You can drop wards out. You can get vision out. This way, you're not like scared. Because now it's like you can't, even if you don't, if the Nunu doesn't come here, if this Nunu doesn't come here, you can't drop a ward now. Because now to drop a ward, you have to walk past this Riven into the fog, and then Nunu could be there, right?
Yeah.
And then you're screwed, and you just die anyways before you get your ward out. So now you're just like completely blind, and it's really hard for you to get a ward out now. And you do get ganked. You're fine because you're not overextended. Oh Lord. Holy.
I don't.
But this could have kind of been prevented, I think, if you would just walk through here, drop the ward.
Yep.
Like you could have seen like the Maokai coming in. You could have realized you're getting dove, and you could have backed off before this happened here, right? You would have seen the Maokai like right here, right now. I'm pretty sure. Probably the Nunu snowballing as well, maybe. And you could have realized I just walk all the way back here.
Do you think it matters if I fucking E into the Nunu there?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's correct to E away if you don't know where the Maokai is. That being said, if you warded, you would have known where the Maokai was, but you don't know where the Maokai is. If you never E into the Nunu here unless you know the Maokai's diving you.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
like you can't know they're diving you here, but then suddenly the Maokai appears and like, oh shit, they are diving me. You know?
Yep.
Like if the Maokai isn't here, they can't dive you. You're fine. I'm like pretty sure you're fine here. But the Maokai is like fucked. Because the Maokai, like if the Maokai isn't here, you can R the Nunu as he walks at you and 1 for 2. Or like one like even double kill them maybe. Like if they continue this dive here, if the Maokai isn't here, you are the Nunu, he's taking tower, you can kill him before they can even come close to killing you. You're full HP. Right? But the Maokai body blocks your R. He buys so much time.
I fucking hate that champion.
Right? Right? So it's kind of because you didn't ward, but that's fine. Like you can't expect a dive to come like that. It's kind of weird, but it's fine. All right, so let's see how the game plays out. Fast forward to when you spawn again. So now you have to kind of catch this wave. This is fine. If you have to catch the wave, you just run straight top. See, they're fighting mid. It's fine. Now your goal needs to be, okay, I need to hit my Sterix now. All right? Like, the Black Cleaver spike came, it went. Now you're kind of falling behind again because of that death. So now it needs to be, okay, the game is evolving into team fights now. Now that you hit your Cleaver and Sterix, your goal needs to be, or now that you hit your Cleaver, your goal needs to be, I need to hit my Sterix. Because Cleaver is strong in lane, but by this time around the game, people have so much damage, you need to have your Sterix or else you get one shot. So your goal right now needs to be, I need to play for myself here as long as possible until I can get my Cleaver and my Sterix and then get my Flash out for team fights as well here. This is really important. So you just need to be fully econ towards it. Your team dies mid, you pick up the mid wave. This is fine. This is all good. We're chilling here, eating the mid wave. And right now, because your team's all dead, you just go straight back to bot, right? You need to look at the side waves, right? This bot wave is crashing in here.
Oh, okay.
Pick that up instantly, right? Go all the way back bot. These waves are far away. You just aim mid wave. This wave's far away. Don't go top. Just go bot wave here. Eat bot wave and play bot. Definitely wrong to walk top here because it just takes too much time. You missing the bot wave for free. You could have eaten that. It's not the worst because they are on dragon anyways. But this is fine. It's not the best play though. You should have gone bot, but it's okay. But now you need to really focus on like econing towards your cleaver. You're not really trying to take a fight here, or towards your Sterix. You're not really trying to take a fight anymore. So don't even base. Like, what are we basing for, right? We don't have Sterix gold here. I'm pretty sure, right? We want to stay on the map. You know, we just saw them bot side. Go eat this Grom. Fuck your jungler. I mean, look in the river here for some vision. You probably can't eat this Krug. It's a little too greedy, but you don't want to base here. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, every second counts here because you need to hit this power spike as soon as possible before the next objective comes up. Which you have some time for because they just took the dragon, but like it's really important. Like ideally, you want to have Black Cleaver Sterak's at like 18 minutes, I would say, if you're not behind. It's like pretty big deal.
Okay.
Because after that, people just get too much damage and your Sterak's isn't tanky enough.
So would you skip tier 2 boots here and just go straight for cleaver? Or not?
No,
Cleaver,
T2 boots is fine. T2
okay.
boots is fine. You just need to not die as much so you can eat more CS. So here, Otacon's up. This is the next objective, actually. I forgot about Otacon. Like, you really want to have Sterak's here.
Yeah.
And if you had died one less time, or Econ for one more wave, like you took this camp, you could have sold your D-Blade. Kind of sucks selling D-Blade with Sterak's, but it's fine. You could have had Sterak's here.
Yeah.
And then you could have come on the map instead of just basing. You could have Econ towards your goal. Get this shit. Now you have Black Cleaver Sterak's. You're level 12, flash up. You can help win this Otacon fight. Even if you're behind the Riven, you are strong as fuck at that point. But instead, you're kind of sitting here, no Sterak's, you're significantly weaker now because you kind of get one shot. If you win this fight, it's probably not because of you. All right, you did work here, but like, it's not like because of you that you win this fight. Like,
no,
your team
definitely
is just kind
not.
of stronger,
Yeah,
right?
definitely not, yeah.
And like in a closer fight, in a closer game, where they don't fuck up this fight despite having a lead, you could lose this fight if you're not like strong enough here. Like it's really important on this Otacon fight. You need 2 items. Like you are just way too squishy otherwise. So you kind of get lucky here, but again, it's like and like more and like a higher consistency times of play. Like in more games, you wouldn't have come out of here. You could have lost the game because you weren't tanky enough to get your R off. You get one shot, you don't get Otacon, game is over, or it snowballs out of control after that.
Yeah, I was wondering how they fucking lose that. I didn't mean to do this either.
No, I feel that. I like you click these accidentally at the time.
Yeah, I guess they lose it because Riven was. I don't know where the fuck Riven was, but
I want to watch that fight. How did they lose that fight? Honestly,
I thought Riven was like right
Rumble's
there.
dead too. 1, 2, 3.
I guess not.
I see 1, 2, 3 people. I only see 3 people. Where's their team? Okay, I see 4 people now. Where's the Riven?
It's because Riven got. I think she got Rumble ulted bot lane. She had it back. Because I was walking the bot.
Okay, I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's when I base for the tunneler.
They play this fight really. I can't really see what's happening too much, but I feel like they play it really poorly. Yeah, they get all split. Like, I mean, your MF kind of 1v9s with his ulti here. It like kind of completely zones them off. They are like all split up here. And then the Nunu's just by himself. You can get an ult on him.
He only ults me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we win the team fight, win the Otacon, but again, would have been much better, much more consistent over the course of many games to have been 2 items there, which you could have been if you would just greeted for it. And just econ for it or like died one less time. So like I said, it's a game, like you said, it's a game of inches, right? Like imagine you had died one less time in lane, you had gotten 1 more wave, 2 more waves, you could have had Sterak's here, and another game that was closer, that Sterak's spy could have cost you the game or won you the game, right?
Yeah.
So like all these things really matter. It's about playing the odds, being consistent. All right, let's watch here. And again here, don't want to run straight top, especially because we have Hexgates as well. Always want to run through mid lane, or not either through mid lane or like through the jungle here. Always.
Yeah.
Really important. Never run straight through top unless the wave is like right here, because you have so much time. But yeah, you know that. So here, catch the wave, and then we want to ideally at this point our goal is, because we are stronger than Riven 1v1, we do beat her 1v1. It's not like super strong, but we are stronger than 1v1. Plus we have the ability of Nocturnal to hover us that she always has to respect. We want to just play the side lane here, get prio, and then hover mid. So let's see what you do after this play, after you crash this wave. Okay, we walk mid. That's fine. It's honestly, I think a better play would have been after this wave here. It's kind of hard because I think the right play is to keep pushing, but you kind of have to respect that your teammates in solo queue sometimes won't respect the fact that they're alone. Like here, they're just going to walk up and die for fun, even though they have no reason to walk up and die. Like they have a tower behind them. There's like no way they can die here. So the correct play is to push this, but you also have to be looking mid lane just to see in solo queue, because the variance really fucks you sometimes. Like it's really tilting when this happens, when the right place to push this wave out, but you never know what's happening mid. So it's really important that you need to always be looking at your team at this stage of the game, seeing if something's happening, seeing if you need to start moving now, right? Because if like something's happening now, you need to just stop hitting this wave and move so you can be there.
Yeah, because I mean, in my
Um,
head, Rumble just respawned. Yone's pushing bot, and Nocturne's on. I mean, I don't know, and Riven's missing
yeah,
too.
I mean they completely grief. I don't know how they can never die here. I guess they just get gangbanged. I don't know how the Riven ever gets by the Nocturne. So they kind of die here, which kind of sucks. But like again, that's not really your fault. I think it's fine because we had vision on them too, and the MF just walks up and pretty sure and dies. So that's not your fault. But again, it's like in solo queue, your goal is to win, not like say whose fault it is. And it's important sometimes to like look at the game state and see if the wrong play is actually the right play because your teammate is making the wrong play.
Yeah,
You know? So that's actually pretty important because like even if it's the right play to push that wave, you die here. If Baron's up, you lose Baron GG. So these kind of things are important, like making like just grouping when you should be side laning because your teammates are bad. It's actually happens all the way up in Challenger. These players are ass sometimes. All right, see what happens here. Good kill on the Nunu, but no real way to take this fight. Yeah, you should never walk this way because your team's dead, right? You need to be getting out here. You don't have ult, you don't have flash, you don't have E. Never like walk this way. You're just walking. You're trying to walk to your tower as fast as possible here so they can't dive you. I get you're trying to juke the Q3, but it doesn't matter if you get hit. Because it hits anyways,
yeah,
but it doesn't
yeah,
matter if you get hit. You just need to be this is like basically CCing yourself for like 5 seconds walking this way. Because now you need to walk back as well.
yeah.
So
Okay, that
it's
makes
like way
sense.
harder. Yeah, yeah. So you die. I'm pretty sure you could have lived there if you didn't walk that way, but that's fine. All right, let's see till you respawn here. Dragon looks to be coming up soon. All right, we walk out of base, walk through mid, correct? We are learning on the spot.
Oh wait, okay, I remember what they do here. I think this is where they fucking lose the game, honestly.
Yeah, so the next fight is going to decide the game here. So this is like something that's really important. You really want to make sure you're not having to use your flash defensively. That being said, you didn't. Like I'm just saying this for future games. On these kind of fights, you want to make sure your flash is always up.
Okay.
Just for like yeah, like it's really important to try to stagger your flash for team fight cooldowns. Like playing for individual kills after like 25 minutes is okay, or like before after 20 minutes is okay. But ideally, you want to be saving your flash for team fights because Urgot with flash and team fights is 10 times more powerful than without flash. And here you have to be careful again. You kind of have to look at their champions and realize if they have the ability to engage on you from far out. Like your team is like not here, right? If you look at your Nocturne, he's like down there, right? They're not in position to like really help you here if you get engaged on, and you don't have a tower to back you up anymore. And so you got to think, what kind of champions do they have? You got to be looking at their comp and like, do they have engage on me if I walk up here and hit the wave? If it's just Swain and they have like lower range champions, it's fine. But they have Maokai, they have Nunu, they can come at you and it's impossible to get away from them. And they can come at you from 10 screens away and you can't react, right? Like Nunu snowballs you here, Maokai ults you here, you're just dead, and then you're dead before the dragon spawns. So really grief to walk up here. You don't need to walk up either. You just wait for your team. You approach as a unit, and then you're more chilling here. But by yourself here, ahead of your team here, all you're doing is potentially dying, and at the best case, just getting chunked out for free here. Because imagine if a Nunu was snowballing here on you, right? You're probably just dead. Instead, they kind of bungle the engage, I think, and you probably turn the fight because of this.
Yeah, I mean, I literally can't believe I fucking live.
Holy, you actually live, right? You look like you're a genius, right? You look like you're a fucking genius. Like you're like, God damn, this guy's good at baiting, right? But it was just unnecessary risk, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
it's just so low variance here that your team wins this fight. Like they could have easily lost this fight because you're basically not in this fight anymore. They're down a man, so I don't even know how they win it, but they do win it. So it's kind of chilling. I mean, Riven looks like she's not here, which is why. I don't know how this Riven is never here anymore, but
Yeah, she was always like fucking pushing
yeah, I don't
people
know. This guy
hard
DC'd or
early.
what? Like,
Yeah,
how is she not here?
9-3, and he's like, he just like fell
I
off.
mean, so they're also griefing. They're fighting without the Riven, but like if the Riven was there, I'm pretty sure you guys get wiped. They take Dragon. They also take Baron here.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys still kind of get wiped here afterwards. So it's just kind of scuffed. So yeah, very important when you're hitting the mid wave. You gotta recognize: do I have a tower behind myself? Is my team close enough to help me? Do they have engage that they can send on me from like far out that I can't really outplay? And so if they have Nunu, y'all always have to be respectful of that. It's super, super strong engage. That's why Nunu is so annoying diverse, because like you just can't get away from him. And you have to respect him from so far out. So really important versus Nunu especially. But again, just look at their comp to see the champions and see what
Yeah.
happens. And because of that engage, like you win the fight kind of. Not really, because you kind of get wiped by the Riven after, but you lose the dragon, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm pretty sure if you didn't get chunked there and you have fought, you guys could have easily won that fight, or it would have been a lot likelier to win that fight. All about those odds. All right, let's see here. Being top lane is fine. You don't have TP at this point, so you do need to be top lane. You have to be careful here, though. You see them 2 mid, 1 bot, so it's fine to push out this wave here, but then you need to immediately back off. Okay, we have our Jack show. This is good. We go home. Come out of base. All right, so here, you never want to be pathing towards bot. I guess it's fine because MF's eating the bot wave, and you don't really want the MF to match her. But because MF is already bot here,
And Baron's
I
up.
mean, Baron's up. I mean, I guess it's fine because you might be scared that MF's getting dove, but it should be fine, right? The MF clears the wave and chills, right? And you should be pathing towards Baron with this Hectic Gate.
Yeah.
Because that's more important to play for here. In case they get picked out, like right here. Like imagine if a fight happens right here. They get picked out, they die. You're over here. You could have been here.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, absolutely.
So like your positioning is like super important here. Like you always want to make sure to use your time on the map. Like every second counts. You never want to be making inefficient clicks. Never be wanting pathing inefficiently. Always want to be just like trying to angle, at least being in the same quadrant as a potential team fight is. This guy die here? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
And so now, because like the proper play if you had TP would be the sideline bot here, and that way you could just eat farm for free. But because you don't have TP, you need to be grouped at all times. Like you need to never be here. Like you are so far away from the fight. There is nothing even here to contest over, right?
Yeah.
0. So you need to be here at all times, which is why you need to path straight to here from base. So this is pretty grief, honestly, being there, and it could have lost you the game because your team would have fought 4v5 here and gotten picked out because they have Nunu. Thankfully, nothing happens. So we're chilling, but very important to realize it's kind of about reading the flow of the game. Like you're kind of trying to see like where a potential fight could happen. Like you're looking at your teammates. This is why it's really important to look at your teammates. Like you're looking at what they're doing. You're looking at their overextended. You're looking at their body language. Like, are they playing aggressive? Do they want to trade? Does the enemy team look like they want to trade? Are they posturing aggressively? And this comes with game experience, but it's just about getting a sense of the flow of the game and seeing what happens and making sure that you are pathing correctly to at least be close to that fight if it happens without losing anything. Like you eat your wave and then path to the fight, or if there's no wave to eat, you just path to the fight directly. But this comes with game experience. You really need to be able to kind of get a sense of like what's gonna happen in the game. Like it's just called reading the flow of the game. Like what's gonna happen and how can I be there in time to make sure that if it does happen, I'm there to help. I'm there to equalize odds or to swing the odds as heavily in my favor as possible.
Yeah.
So here we're here. The 5v5 has started and we're here finally. Thankfully, but it's a little late, but it's fine. We should probably win this fight though, because our comp looks pretty strong at this point. I think we do win the fight. Nice. And we win the game.
Yeah.
I feel like they're bungling their team fights.
Yeah, no, they
I mean, your
are.
team fight's pretty strong too. Like, they seem so disorganized. Like, what is this Nunu doing? Nah, they are completely griefing these fights. Yeah, they're just super uncoordinated. I feel like they should win. They're ahead. Their Riven is also like completely useless somehow. It's being super fed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a
but yeah, you win
weird
the
game
fight.
because it seems like we're just gonna lose and then we win. So
Yeah, you just win it. But like this is like so like it's so flip because like you just basically 50-50. Like if you have to come down to a fight where it's like you get the 50-50 team fight, there's like not much you can realistically do except pray your team kind of clutches it, you know? Like you can do some things that you hit your E, you hit your R, you have flash up, you're strong for sure, but it's like the odds are just lower. Like you want to make sure that you can swing the odds as heavily in your favor as possible. Like you want to be like making it a 4v5. You want to be there first, you know? You want to do everything you can to make it more favor towards you rather than just a straight up 5v5, smash your heads together and pray you win, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you are strong, right? It's just like it's so risky, you know? You don't want to take this kind of risk. Like when you lost that fight, you lose the game, you know? And it's like not guaranteed you win that fight by any means. You just kind of flipping that they bungled the fight and fucked it up, which they did. So you win it. But like a better team, they could have killed you there. I mean, you know?
yeah, no, I completely
So
agree.
it's like all about these kind of like low variance things, like reducing the odds of losing. Like just make like you can never guarantee anything. You can never make anything 100% certain. But you want to make sure it's as likely as possible, and that goes through everything throughout the game, through lane, like avoiding a gank, you know, playing to set up a gank, playing for the 1v1, to all the way to playing to team fights. All these kind of things, it really matters. So I would say like the most important thing for you is in lane, really focusing on your spacing. Make sure you don't go past the minion line. I'm sure you know by now. And besides that, you're really good at Like, just work on the spacing, work on being tighter with your clicks, and being more precise with your clicks, and I think you'll go far. There are definitely other things you can work on, like I mentioned, but I think the biggest thing is um, your spacing and also making sure that you're not giving up tempo, like not greeting your tempo, like making sure you're like actually playing for yourself as well. Like not giving up tempo, not griefing your tempo, playing for yourself above all else, and spacing. I think are the biggest things you can work on here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. Man, holy shit.
Yeah, so I hope this helps. You have any questions for me? Feel free to ask.
Um, dude, I feel like you kind of answered everything. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, I really hope that helped. I hope you took something from this. Let me know how your games go for the rest of the season if this helps you win some games.
I will, bro.
Yeah.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good day, bro. Take
Yeah,
care.
you too. Thank you. Holy shit, dude.